Greetings, fellow Gothamites. We're back to talk about episode. What is this, Blue Dragon 5? Episode 9? Episode 8? Episode 8, right?
Yeah. 8.
Okay, thank you. Episode 8 of Fox's retelling of the Dark Knight mythology, entitled The Mask. So join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace and explore Gotham. I'm sorry, was that your line? I think I'm stuck over the intro again.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Alright. Sorry about that. So you have joined us, so I'm supposed to stop with the title, right? Oh, God. Should have went over that before. I will never start a recording again without going over the intro. So anyways, BlueDragonFive, can you believe that they brought in the comic book character, the Mask, that inspired the Jim Carrey movie? Could you believe that? Holy crap, what a twist.
I find that a little hard to believe.
I've not read any of that comic book, but I hear it's really dark. I hear he chops people up with an axe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm I'd like to see a really dark interpretation of that. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah. Certainly not fun of the Mask. But anyways. Bragging rights, I totally called it. We got Black Mask this episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got reaction. We got some Black Mask. It was really cool and a little different than he is in the comics, but still pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. Well, you certainly probably know more about that than I do, so I'll leave you to perhaps fill in some of the differences between the comic and this interpretation. But anyways, that in mind, you want to get right into the episode?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so let's see. So we start the episode. We see we're in this really dank-looking office space, and by dank I mean.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to point out: is this the first time we've gotten a proper previously on Gotham?
No. I think last episode. Well, actually, no. I'm trying to think. It's either this episode or the previous episode where they stopped doing the whole.
There's a war coming. A terrible war.
Yeah, they stopped doing that. I think it was. I know it was.
Wayne murder, and then Fish Moody's going to take over. Bam.
I know it wasn't in this episode. I'm wondering if they stopped it last episode because they kind of synced up with things then. I'm not sure.
Right. It was kind of an interesting build up to the Penguin's umbrella episode if you look at it that way. The fact that they keep hitting on those points.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we get a previously on Gotham. We get Essence really good line. I won't help you. We have the Zaz fight. Harvey agrees to join in because he's doomed anyways, and then finally Fish's weapon is and finally Maroni's allowed to have the Penguin. So there we go. Anyways, I'm sorry, keep going. We're in the damp environment, and what happens?
So I shouldn't say dank, but we're in a really dark and spooky office space. Looks like a war zone. It's pretty much literally they're going for kind of a fight club environment. Funny enough. We see a masked businessman, man in suspenders, kind of Gordon Gekko style, Wall Street type of guy.
Yeah, funny you say, because I actually got a real Wolf of Wall Street vibe from all this.
It's pretty much we have a mask. Just right off the bat, this interests me. We have a man in a mask kind of walking around this war zone of an office space, and he's pretty much fighting for his life against another guy in a mask. A black mask. Ha 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 ha. Pretty much they are beating the ever-loving crap out of each other, fighting for their lives. They're literally, it's so, I love how, again, they're really playing the whole exaggeration, how bad and how violent Gotham is, and just show you how far these guys are willing to go. They're hitting each other, everything in the office. It's like a real knuckle brawling fight here, but they're hitting each other like staplers, and pretty much a guy takes off a little blade you use to cut the paper aligned, and cuts the guy's finger off. Really creepy. Point is, it's a really hugely brutal fight. We see a mysterious man is watching this fight, and he sees the victor as one of our men, essentially, I believe, using that same device, that same implement, slits the guy's throat. He's down. He's dead. And a man unmasks himself. He says it's a young man, and it's another young man. Pretty much this mysterious figure with his black sleeve. He turns the monitor off, and he's pleased.
Mm-hmm. All right, now this isn't the first time that we've seen someone kill another person for a job in this show, and I think that's kind of started to be a little bit of an interesting kind of social commentary that this show is sort of running with.
Right,
what do you
right.
think?
Oh yeah, because we saw this before with the whole Mooney kind of tryouts, if you will.
And then if you also want to look further into it, we also saw like cases like the Penguin murdering the guy for the shoes to get the job at the restaurant.
Fair enough, fair enough.
It's interesting because, you know, this year, 2014, has been a really stellar year for movies, but I tell you, BlueDragonFive, above any other movie this year, I think my number one so far, my number one that I've seen is a little movie that you might have heard of that's named after an X-Men character that has absolutely nothing to do with the X-Men, called Nightcrawler. And Nightcrawler has a very similar sort of take on, like, just kind of like the brutality that's involved with just employment in general these days. So I really like that sort of social satire and social commentary, and I like that we're getting Gotham. So just wanted to draw that little parallel there. Yeah. Go see Nightcrawler if you haven't.
It looks good. It looks good, definitely. Let's see. So basically, after that really examination of brutality, it's really going to inform our episode with mainly our third act here, people fighting for their lives in this really cool-looking, yet scary-looking office environment. First of all,
it's not a warehouse. It's not a warehouse. Holy crap!
Yeah, I gotta give them props for that, because if you're looking for sets, instead of being a warehouse, making an office space, making like. It really reminded me of a Dexter episode. In season 7, there's a serial killer who, not Dexter. No, I mean it's the show Dexter, but a different serial killer.
Oh yeah.
He does this really sadistic thing where he makes kind of like a Most Dangerous Game type thing. He basically decorates the.
I'm glad you mentioned Most Dangerous Game, because that's another parallel that I kind of drew from this too. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Most Dangerous Game type scenario where like he decorates the upstairs like a not almost satanic, like really sadistic, like environment, like barbed wires everywhere. So basically, you're gonna cut yourself trying to get out. Pretty much, it's like if you can run away, I dare you to run away so I can find you and kill you type deal. It's like kind of like a setup environment, which I like things were blocked off, like a maze almost in there.
Right.
To a degree, and pretty much I just love the idea of just seeing again the black mask just instantly signaled sign off for me because again, first of all, we didn't know going into this that it was going to be Black Mask 100% because it said the mask. Some people were expecting Scarecrow. I was expecting maybe a precursor to maybe a new guy, just like who may have looked like Black Mask, but no, we got a full Black Mask later on, which I was pleased by. And just seeing the guys.
One of the things I'm worried about, though, is I'm sorry, but one of the things I'm worried about is like they're definitely building up Penguin, obviously, and obviously I think they're building up Riddler to perhaps be the big season 2 villain if it goes the way I'm thinking it'll go. But I don't know, BlueDragonFive. I gotta say, I'm worried about these fringe sort of villain characters, like your Victor Zsasz and your Mask, your Black Mask, because I'm not exactly sure how much we're going to see them outside of their respective episodes. What do you think about that?
Right. Well, Zsasz.
I'm worried that Zsasz hasn't showed up yet.
Well, no, I'm sure Zsasz is definitely going to be back. I'm sure he'll be back towards the end of the season. I can bet. I'd almost bet you money on that one. Because they're making a big deal out of him. We'll get into that in a few scenes from now, I guess. Yeah, we'll get into that in a few scenes from now. And so definitely Zsasz most definitely is coming back. Black Mask, well, he's a little tricky, but that's by the end of the episode. We'll get into that.
Okay. I just kind of wanted to raise that concern. I feel like it's definitely kind of the tricky thing with writing the show is, while it's really interesting to get into the past of these villains and everything, I just kind of feel like you have the potential, if you introduce too many of them, and especially if you introduce them in kind of these almost slightly one-off sort of storylines in these episodes, that you run the potential of having just too many ingredients in the same dish, if you get what I mean. So,
yes, there is a danger with that, most definitely.
Anyways, moving on. What do we get next?
One last thing to say. So again, really just kind of geared me up with seeing those Black Mask and the businessman just fighting for a job, because that's the earmarks of Black Mask in the comics. That first of all, again, the clues started pouring in, like, oh man, it must be Black Mask, and they're wearing these black ski masks. I mean, yeah, they could be ski masks, but they're black. And again, you see kind of a businessman's arm. And that just, again, it just jazzed me up. Oh my God, they are officially doing Black Mask. Because the idea of Black Mask, no matter what interpretation, usually he's a very violent and ruthless businessman. That's always kind of the consistent thing. And I like how they did indeed keep that aspect of the character. It's even comedically so how brutal he can be to people.
Sure, definitely.
It's like under the Red Hood, he's punching henchmen that just give him a dirty look.
I still need to see Under the Red Hood.
Essentially, he's like He's like a comedic Scarface in that, pretty much.
Okay.
Anyway, so moving on to our next scene. Take it to the next scene.
All right, we've got probably my favorite character in this whole show. Honestly, Bullock? He's really growing on me. No, not Bullock. I gotta say, I think Nigma is probably, if not my straight up favorite character, probably the most entertaining character with the time they do give him. And I really love this Bullock and Nigma relationship.
Well, remember what Bullock does in the beginning of the scene.
Okay, yeah, well, let's see. You want to take us through?
Yes, your Bullock, he stains his tie at the beginning. I thought was funny. He spills coffee on his tie. Oh, what a mess at a crime scene.
And then we've got Nigma. He's examining a body, and I really like how in this scene Gordon's trying to be polite.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, it's kind of funny because we have this whole, and next episode, I don't know if you even caught it, but there's this one moment where Harvey actually does acknowledge, like,
I caught it. I caught it.
Yeah, good job. And it was like, that was like the first moment that Nigma ever has gotten acknowledgement on the show. And such a good thing. I can't wait to talk about it when we get there. But anyway, so yeah, he's examining a body. We're at a crime scene, right? We're at the crime scene of what we just saw go down.
Yes, essentially we are. The body's been dumped, and they're examining the body. They deduce that obviously his throat's been slit and he's bled out. So we gotta give us like a timeline here, Ed.
Right.
So I have Enigma kind of give him like a time of death and examine the body, get prints and stuff, and he finds something.
Yes, Ed, run all the prints.
You want me to run all the prints? Yeah, Ed. He says even this one pulls out from the dead guy's esophagus. Young dead guy too. They make that clear. He's getting dressed full suit, suspenders, and everything. A big clue. They find like in his throat a finger, pretty much our guy's finger. I assume they're disposing of the finger evidence also.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much jammed it in there, and also they found ink smudges on the body and the thumb and stuff. The finger, whatever finger was. And then they jokingly say, I think Gordon says, I love how Gordon and Enigma have these little moments where like Gordon he's more friendly to him than Bullock, and he kind of says, yeah, Ed, all the prints.
Yeah.
So you don't even, next episode is more apparent, but still, Gordon, he's always had kind of a soft spot for Enigma. Like, again, he's not like buddy with him. He's like, right, thanks, Ed.
Well, it's kind of like, I've definitely had coworkers like this where, it's like, it's the coworker where he bothers like 90% of the other staff at the place you work, but you can't help but feel a twinge of sympathy for him. So you try to be nice, but you don't want to get too buddy with him because interpersonal work politics and whatnot. So
and that's Gordon to a T. Gordon wants to try to keep the work life separate from the home life. If we learn anything from
right. So yeah, really good stuff. Let's see. We also get that little bit where we have the cop.
My favorite bit. Oh, it was my favorite.
I just wrote down his name's Joe. Anything else we need to know about him?
No, not really. No. Just the point here is that let's see. So first of all, I want to point out Enigma was so gleeful in the scene too, so funny. So again, this is an important plot point as
gleeful as he is about video games. We'll get to that. We'll get to it.
The point is, following our previous episode, this is a plot line you and I are both really, really keen on. This is Gordon to a T for me. Last episode, as we saw, the cops pretty much they abandoned Gordon. They walked out as soon as Az told them to. Pretty much, Gordon was alone in that shootout, and obviously he got shot. He could have almost died over things, for all we know.
Well, to be fair, Zaz did say please.
He did say please. The point is, Gordon, as per usual, he's feeling really distant and alienated from the corrupt cops, and he obviously wants to keep that distance. And this is a Gordon who really feels like he's fighting a one-man war. Bullock he can kind of count on. We can count on Bullock, but he has to prod him a little. And Pretty much he's given up on the rest of the cops, saying, look, they're all corrupt. They left me to die. What's the point? Work with them. I'm going to do everything myself. He's pretty much, Gordon at this point, he's convinced that, look, I can't rely on anybody to get the job done, or else they're going to muddle up or have like the mob involved or something. I don't want that. I'm going to do everything myself. And he does. So pretty much like Bullock says, hey, why don't you get okay, look, I'm going to interview these some of the dock suspects. No, Bullock says he's going to, I forget what Bullock says he's going to do, is he run the prints or something after he gets him from Enigma or something. Gordon says, I'll go interview the suspects. He says, why don't you let the munis do that? Let the officers do that. He says, no, I'll do it. Tells Joe to put out the cigar, or at the crime scene, or put out the cigarette at the crime scene. Again, he's not letting up on the cops, even though over such little things, and Bullock's kind of taking notice of this, like, you're being difficult, you.
Yeah, but I really like this dynamic we got going on. Again, like, I'm sure you love it, because it is Jim Gordon to a T, as far as I know. And you, of course, know the character a lot more than I do, so.
Oh, yeah. So Gordon just not trusting corrupt cops, and just really not trusting a lot of the cops in the force, especially early on in his career. That's 100% out of the comics from his beginning.
Definitely. All right, so good stuff. Anything else you want to say about that?
No, just Nigma found the extra print, run all the prints, said, ha ha ha, next scene.
Okay, we got the Penguin, and he's on the street, and he interrupts a kindly little lady. This scene is so bizarre. Oh my god.
It is, but it's funny.
So he's just like, excuse me, ma'am. I couldn't help but notice that brooch you have. I know a friend who would love that brooch. May I please have it?
And again, much like Zaz, he learns, you get all you want in life by asking nicely.
I'm sorry. May I please have it?
And he reaches for it, and we cut to the next scene. We have no idea what happened to this lady. Optimistically, she ran away startled, or most likely he killed her.
Yeah.
In broad daylight, mind you, in broad daylight.
And this continues the trend of the Penguin killing people for objects.
Oh, yeah.
Sandwich, shoes, whatnot.
So why did he steal this, Tiki? Take us to the next scene.
Well, he stole it to, it was basically a goodwill gift to Fish Mooney, and we get a great scene in Fish's nightclub with her and the Penguin, and see, Gilzeem's kind of lurking around in the background.
I love Gilzeem.
Oh, Gilzeem had oh god, I can't wait to talk about Harvey Dent, because he really did have a lot of good stuff.
He did.
And so yeah, like I said, Penguin he's. What do you think Penguin's play is here? Do you think he's genuinely trying to gain Fish's affection? Do you think he's playing with her? What do you think he's getting at here? Because it's not really all that clear.
All right, let's see. The Penguin, first and foremost, he was sent down there just to reaffirm. I assume he might have been down there for his own agenda. We know Penguin's a master planner, so it's kind of hard to tell whatever he's doing. But he says he's down there just to reaffirm the message of, just to make sure. Yeah, we share Arkham. Our mob bosses share Arkham, and there's to be no bloodshed. Maybe just a drop.
I love that, and I love that Penguin's just like.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So what I think Penguin on some level actually is. I think Penguin's smart enough to realize that no, I'm not going to repair things here. He might be trying to just infiltrate, try to build some trust so he can get more information out of her to use against her later. That's my guess. I don't think he's actually trying to.
Well, you know what I just realized is he does. I think actually the reason why he goes in here right now is perhaps the brooch is just an excuse because he wants to sniff things out, because they make a big point of Fish points out Timothy, and Timothy is currently now, I guess, the guy holding Fish's umbrella. And let's see, she has a line about oh, look at you, Oswald. Yeah. Once you were in Timothy's spot, and now you've got a seat at the table.
Yeah, that's a good bit. I love how Timothy's pointed out here, and he factors in big time later.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I think perhaps maybe the reason why Oswald's, paying his little visit, and Also, do you think what's your stance on the whole thing about like how he gives her a brooch is like a very easy thing to turn into a weapon?
Yeah, okay, I'll give you here's let me say two things here about this scene with the Penguin's ploy here. Okay, so I'll say this now. I'm just thinking about it right now. Yeah, so he must be going down there. In addition to maybe Marone just said, make sure you articulate this on the way or whatever. Articulate, there's to be no bloodshed. But really, he's down there for whatever reason. He's definitely really down there to observe the area, kind of get a fix on what Fish's operation is. He's kind of patrolling the thing, see like how can I manipulate this to my advantage. So he's there. He's saying he wants friendship just to excuse why he's there. That's one thing.
Sure.
Two, the brooch, yeah, it's a stupid move. It's a stupid. However, it seems like it's a seemingly stupid move on Penguin's part. However, what if Penguin he wanted that just to I'm saying what if he wanted that pain, not to experience the pain, no, but like to just see like gauge how Mooney's going to react in the future. Like, see how difficult she's going to be to deal with. Like, okay, I'm going to give her brooch as kind of a test.
Okay.
Perhaps.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's an interesting theory. I'm not sure if the writers are thinking like that, but
I'm saying we've seen him do a lot more methodical stuff than just the last episode. I'm throwing it out there as a suggestion. Otherwise, yeah, it is a completely stupid idea on Penguin's part.
Right.
Or third motive is what he uses the brooch for later on. Maybe that was like his, if she doesn't like it, I'll just give it to this person.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll get to it. But anyway, so pretty much literally about the brooch. So obviously things don't go well. Pretty much tries to extend his land and friendship. Backfires big time. She says, "Oh, a brooch." She pulls out the pin part of it and stabs it right there. I love how he holds back the men and then pretty much he takes it. And Fish is really sticking in the point here. I treated you like a son, which is going to be real important in our next scene with him. I treated you like a son, And remember, the big thing she emphasizes here is, remember, things change.
Oh yeah.
That's I like that line.
Sure.
Oh yeah, because definitely that's what the Penguin's whole thing's predicated on: things change and him rising up the ladder. Especially Mooney's his big obstacle.
And then Mooney also has a really good line. You better pray for Falcone's health. And then Oswald's just like, oh, I do, Fish. I do.
Yeah, but still, regardless, you gotta feel ouch. Because at first I thought, I wonder how far she drove it in there, too.
Right.
Just watching, because I knew this in the promo. The promo was thinking, oh my god, no, it can't be. Otherwise, you'd have a hole all the way through. Because the way that she slams it on there,
exactly.
However, I don't think it went all the way through, though.
Jesus and Passion of the Christ 2 status.
Yeah, like, just for practicality's sake, I don't think she's put it all the way through, but still, ouch.
Oh, God.
I hate hand damage, and this episode is not my episode because of that. No, I'm kidding. Alright. Seriously, okay. I hate the losing of fingers and thumbs and stuff. It always freaks me out. Like, I hate that moment in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It really freaks me out.
I bet you hate stuff involving fingernails.
No, I mean literally the loss of the limbs that you just can't get back. It always kind of weirds me out.
Oh, okay. So like fingernail, like bamboo under the fingernail torture doesn't bother you because lost and it really bothered me.
Well, I mean, it's uncomfortable. I haven't seen it really firsthand, but I mean, like, literally, if you lose a thing that, like, in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, let's just say someone loses a finger and basically they can never get it back, and it's, like, so freaky, like, oh!
Yeah. Alright, so anyways, you want to move on to the next scene?
Sure. What's our next scene?
Okay, so we got Bruce, and for the first time in the whole series, I think, besides the opening scene, he's out of that one room! Holy crap!
Well, he went to a funeral.
Oh, that's right. All right, fair enough. Eddie did go to that fundraiser.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, save the house revelation for next episode, okay?
Yeah. Good point.
So Bruce is at school, his old preppy school, and Alfred wants him to, do things that kids do, and he has to go to school. He has to interact with the other kids.
Mm-hmm. And Bruce, he's very hesitant about this. He's, because of everything he's gone through, he just can't relate to them. And then Alfred points out, well, what about your mates? And Bruce is just like, well, they're childish, Alfred. And Alfred, he delivers a very good point. Well, of course they're childish. They're supposed to be childish, like children.
Yeah.
And I really like the moment where Bruce is like, define normal and make a good argument for it.
You're going to school, that's the end of that. Yeah. And I like how he said I like how he wishes him luck too on the way out of this. Good luck, man. Good luck, sir.
Okay.
Now, also, I gotta tell you this. I called this so badly. I was yelling this out in the episode because I was praying if this kid would be who I thought it was, and he was. We see Bruce's friend, because this is a character from the comics, Tiki, and my God, if they're going the route, I hope that we all hope they're going with. It's gonna be cool. Let's just say Bruce and this kid have a really screwed up history together.
I know like some very fringe details about. Does he become like a full-fledged villain?
Oh yeah, really personal
okay,
one.
cool.
Well, I'm gonna say this: he's more so when he shows up, it's a big deal, but really, otherwise, he's not like a name brand villain. But people,
sure.
The alter ego is the more important one with this guy. It's like not so much his identity, because
right on.
Anyway,
right, cool. All right, so
anyway, forward. So he takes notice as Bruce walks in. This is like some foreboding stuff going on. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Okay, so next scene is probably my least favorite scene of the whole episode because it's the standard procedural scene. It's the scene where Gordon has to interview the mother of the victim to get information that we're going to need later. And procedural stuff.
Well, fine. This is our plot scene. I got kind of a nice moment of Gordon consoling the mother. It's okay. I'm just saying it's not the worst scene.
I just don't want this
Tiki
series in general to be a procedural.
Tiki,
I just don't want that.
Let me reiterate. You're saying, compared to the other stuff in this episode, the other thing in this episode, that is your worst. That's what I'm saying here, Tiki. Rethink that, would you?
Barbara has become entertainingly bad. Barbara has almost become so bad that it's good because it's so damn fun to talk about.
Well, it's not fun to talk about. Not fun for me.
Well, I can understand how the Montoya stuff is painful. I can understand that, but at this point, I think the Barbara stuff is just kind of a game. I don't know.
I feel like Barbara's just the worst version of how you feel about that one girl from Lost who plays Belle.
Oh God.
Like, I can just imagine
Bye.
Yeah, it's like this Barbara has kind of like a baby thing in her voice. I can just imagine her saying something stupid like that.
Oh God, especially if she ends up being pregnant. Victor Zaz took my bye-bye, and she ends up having an Australian accent, and then she splits her identity, and then Nicole Kidman is Australian, so she ends up becoming Kate Floridian. There we go.
Jeez. It's so sad that that actually sounds like a funny theory. Anyway, so meanwhile, Gordon he's talking to the kid's mom, the dead young businessman.
Oh.
And also, this it's not exactly a reference to this, but I'm wondering what you think of this. The guy's name's Coleman, which in the first place made you think of Coleman Reese.
I did think of that. Yeah.
It's a different last name. It's a different last name, but still Coleman. Might be a little bit of a nod. Who knows?
I think
businessman.
It might be a little nod. Yeah.
I'm saying because he was a businessman too, a young businessman. Yeah, it's open to interpretation. The point is, she mentions this is our plot portion, pretty much saying he was a college hopeful, a smart kid, worked at the coffee shop, but also kind of a young starter for this company. At least he was trying to be, and then turns up dead.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, she gives like I forget if she gave the exact company name or not, but point is she says he worked at a company most definitely. Meanwhile, Bullock and Essen are in the office, and pretty much they're worried about Gordon because obviously, and this is a good scene with Essen too.
I really like the development that they've been giving Essen over the past few episodes. I've openly said that.
Oh yeah, Essen is definitely. She's the only female character aside from our two consistently awesome female characters, being Selena and Fish, and by proxy, I guess, Liza.
No, I don't think.
I'm just saying by proxy because when she's.
I don't really care for the actress who plays Liza. I'll say that much.
I don't think she's got enough to do to judge her with.
That delivery.
No, maybe you're right. I don't know, but the point is.
We'll talk about that a little later in the episode.
Yeah, sure. Point is, let's see. So Bullock's kind of putting the point. Gordon's getting a little difficult to work with the guys because they abandoned him. So, and then he says, "Oh no, I didn't mean U.S." And says, "No, I abandoned him too. He told me to go. It doesn't matter. I should have been there." Good scene. Good little bit with her that pays off later on, most definitely. Or at least kind of pays off.
Oh yeah.
Point is, they really have this really good moment. They pretty much say, well, he's going to have to get over it because you and I know how to work this. I love this because the two of them know how this works. They both want to be good, but they kind of given up on that. That's a good parallel between those two.
It kind of speaks to what we've been saying the whole time about Harvey being a man who's corrupt for the sake of survival.
Yeah, same thing. Essen does it to mainly protect her family, and so she doesn't get killed too. It's definitely good. So they pretty much say, we know how this works. We gotta. They both regret abandoning him, but they say he's got to get over it, or else he's not going to survive in the city.
For sure.
Meanwhile,
okay, so let's see. We got
a Bates Motel-ish scene.
Mrs. Coppelpoot. Well, every scene with Mrs. Coppelpoot is a Bates Motel.
Oh, I love Mrs. Coppelpoot. I told you Carol Kane's awesome in this show. I love her. She's great.
And I think she is easily the most Tim Burton-esque character in this show. What do you think about that? Every time she's on screen, it's just she just seems like she's straight out of a 90s Tim Burton movie.
That's fair enough. Yeah, sure, I can kind of see it. She dresses like it, definitely.
Right. All right, so anyways, we have...
Penguin, he has a gift he just thought of completely on his own. This is, I got this especially for you, Mom.
As soon as I saw it, I thought of you.
Oh, yeah. And as he hands it to her, makes it kind of graver, which makes you just hammers in the fact that he definitely didn't intend for the brooch mark as his mother notices it.
Why would he intend for it?
No, I'm saying
I have no plausible reason why he would want to get hurt like that.
I'm just saying if anyone's thinking the whole master plan route, because we don't think he intended that.
No, that's ridiculous. I mean, points have been made about the show. If they make Penguin's master plan so convoluted that he is literally masterminds every single step, then it ceases to be unrealistic. So I think it's actually a good thing that he fucked up because
it is. You're right, Tiki. I'm saying it is good. I'm just saying there's still maybe a little bit up to her. It's maybe an idea that again she was trying to gauge a reaction to again he didn't want it to happen, he didn't count on it to happen, but he just wanted to say she can do something dangerous with this thing. He didn't know what she was going to do with it, but still, I was wondering if you'd take it or not.
Right.
I'm throwing it out there again. I'm not glued to it either. I'm just saying it is a mistake on his part. It just shows you he's not perfect and he's got a. It's showing you he's literally being vulnerable to his mother here, which is the only time we really see Penguin vulnerable.
I think that theory is something that Oswald himself would be smart enough to do. I don't think it's something that the same writers who are writing the Barbara Keene character would be smart enough to do.
Fair enough. Anyway, so it's just it's so twisted about this scene. First of all, when he's giving her the brooch before she picks up the wound. It's that he says, I thought he would. It just shows you that he first of all he thought of fish, and fish has that line says I've been like a mother to you. Maybe he values fish a little. Maybe he was genuinely trying to build some sort of bond because in a twisted way he feels he owes everything to fish.
I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Right.
I know, because I'm wondering how genuine he is. Again, it looks like a lot like he's just kind of gauging the whole place, for his plans in the future of what she could do with her operation. How can I take this from her? Maybe on some sick, maybe it's both. Maybe on some sick level too, he feels, if I'm going to manipulate her, I want to squeeze every bit of kind of maternal love I used to have with this woman out before I kill her. That sort of thing. And pretty much again it's kind of he has a two-mother situation going on here. So twisted.
Oh God! We'll get to.
I think a question I want to see answered
about one of the theories about Selena Kyle and her two moms.
No, we're not doing that. That was done already. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, I'm trying to think.
That was the best theory since the Chase Meridian theory.
It was. Back on topic.
All right.
Here's an episode I want to see in the future. I want to see how did Penguin get so screwed up with such a sweet and loving mom he's got here.
Well, I think I can answer that because I think the mom is definitely a Norma Bates style mom where her loving nature is kind of destructive towards the Penguin. You know what I mean? It's it's just one of those situations where she's kind of like smothering him in a way.
It's fair enough.
So,
and I like how they're kind of seeing that he takes care of the mom. Maybe that's his drive. His drive is to protect this sweet and kind woman, even though he's pushing her away at the same time. Maybe, I guess.
Right. Can you go into a little bit of detail about her really bizarre speech that she has? Like after Oswald says,
sure.
They're jealous of me in the restaurant business.
Okay.
I thought that speech shed a lot of insight into her character.
It did. So let's see. Essentially, mother sees the wound. She worries about it. She says, "Oh, nothing. It was just there was something happening at work." Does the restaurant business that dangerous? And pretty much, she's like, again, the compassionate mom we've seen before. You gotta love this one. You gotta love her on some level. She pretty much gives him some motherly advice, pretty much, just saying, you gotta tell the boss. Again, I love this being seen in this scene that, of course, Penguin's whole thing is that he's kind of a snitch and an informant, and they kind of show in the scene he got it from his mom. And that was so sweet and so twisted.
Right.
And the mother is really a lot like the Penguin. We find in the story that basically she tells a story of her dancing teacher, I assume ballet dancing. That's my assumption.
Mm-hmm.
She tells a story pretty much she's being bullied by a girl in class, and the teacher didn't do nothing because I think the implication is maybe I'm not saying she slept with the teacher. Maybe she should try seduce him or something. I don't know. Because and basically says, well, what happened is she had the big bosoms, and she walked in her curves. No. What did you do? Pretty much, she says, and this is the moment I really loved in the story. She mentions it. He says, so you told the teacher, you told higher up or someone. Says, no. I denounced her. I denounced her father to the secret police. Implication being she was deported or something, or detained or in some horrible manner, wherever they came from.
Again, it's like that kind of shines a little light on how Oswald could have gotten messed up from this woman.
But I'm saying, and I don't know, I like how they're seeing it in it, so wouldn't it be kind of neat to see a full episode about the past of the Penguin?
Okay, so basically a Bates Motel style episode involving the Penguin.
Well, I'm saying, what if you had an episode about this? More speculation, but I'm saying, what if you had kind of an episode about motherly bond, and your other co-story would be like Selena's past about her mom, maybe.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
I'm saying it's maybe,
The Selena mother mystery is definitely something that they're.
And your third one could be Fish and her mom, perhaps mom. We don't know.
Oh, we'll get to that. Yeah, that's something that I only caught on rewatch too. So
that could be your ultimate Mother's Day episode.
Oh God.
Maybe for next season. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway.
Well, I think the show's still going to be on Mother's Day because we got 22 episodes and they're taking a break after this next one. So
that's a fair point. Anyway, so at the end of the season,
Mother's Day is actually right around the finale for most shows. So yeah, big old mother flashback finale for Gotham.
Anyway, so we come the end of our little scene here is basically she caught a live rat, and she caught him alive. This is important. She caught a rat, and she caught it alive, and pretty much saying, "I found out the secret." And then again, some motherly advice. And I love these little scenes where Penguin's getting some advice from his mom, or getting some insight from his mom. Pretty much, usually it's really done really creepily in a Bates Motel fashion, but still.
Of course.
Pretty much, she says, everyone has a secret, and Penguin kind of picks up on this. Yeah, everyone has a secret. And this, of course. This informed, so again, maybe looking back at that previous scene, maybe he wasn't thinking, maybe he was trying to form some sort of bond in his creepy way. And because now maybe he's gotten the idea, I got to find out what her secret is. Again, might be grasping at straws as to what exactly his motives were. We'll find out later on.
Ambiguous it is, though. I like that we are kind of not entirely sure. I think that kind of bodes well for the quality of the episode.
That is good. Point is now he's an idea to let's find out some secrets here.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so that's our next scene.
Okay, our next scene. This is actually I thought the transition was a little bit clunky because we go from Mrs. Couplepoot to a guy yelling for morphine because he's being operated. Morphine! What the hell is going on here? But no, we find out this is let's see. Do you have Can you explain this doctor a little more, because I was kind of confused on his role? He's like a Gotham PD doctor, right? But he has to operate. No, he's not.
Well, I mean, he's a black market doctor. Essentially, what they got going.
Right.
Essentially, I don't know what his actual name is, but I don't know his actual name. I just know what they both nicknamed his operation. I assume that was like Dr. Sawbones, but no, it's stupid. I know the guy's name. The point is, we have a black market doctor here. What he does is it's sort of like the actual version of what Gordon did last episode of when someone gets shot. Obviously, they don't want to report the gunshot, so they go to a black market mob doctor.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not saying this guy's mob affiliated. The point is, he most likely worked on members, gunsels of the mob or something.
Sure.
Pretty much he's a black market, so anything you don't want to report, you go to this guy. But he's not the best doctor. Otherwise, he'd be a professional. And
he'd actually give people morphine and sedatives when he's operating on them.
Instead of punching them in the face to knock them out.
This isn't the 19th century here. We actually have stuff for that now.
That's so hilarious, though. He just punches the guy to give him and then Bullock walks in and says, "Oh, is that the way you do it?" Anyway, so pretty much Bullock kind of gives us some explanation of this guy, pretty much saying, Doc, the only reason we let your whole your Saw and Bones black market operation go down here is because you provide information for us from the criminals you operate on. That's the only reason you stay open. So pretty much he gives him did you work on this guy? He's beating around the bush a little, which gets under Gordon's skin. Pretty much, he eventually kind of indirectly gives him the silence after he says he doesn't know anything. Mm-hmm. Gives him a least silence because they find the ink on him, I guess, so they know indeed he worked on this guy. He gives him basically the silence. Oh, so this scene Gordon didn't know the company's name, but now they know the company's name. Silence.
Okay, right.
Which indeed confirms Black Mask, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Anyway, so then Gordon arrests him, and Bullock's saying, "Wait, what? No, he lied to us." Pretty much. Then we're in the next scene. Oh, I love this scene. This scene was kind of what I was expecting last episode. We got it here.
Oh, yeah.
Again, classic Gordon scene to it. It might be my favorite scene of the episode, if not a little scene we got later on. Gordon, for sure. I want to make this statement right now. This is one of my favorite episodes. I really love this one because Gordon was so on par this episode.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So Gordon makes his big statement after he arrests the guy, despite Bullock's protests for a bit. Alvarez comes out there. The doctor's saying, "Come on, give me Alvarez." Alvarez is walking. "Gordon, I have to work with this guy." Says he wasn't giving his information. "Yes, why you got to pump him a little?" And then pretty much, he always plays around like that. You gotta, pretty Gordon's not having any of it, and Gordon's just completely peeved at all the corrupt cops in this scene. Pretty much, he's kind of making his statement there. We arrest bad guys, and then he's kind of storming off, and Bullock kind of heads him off before he walks away. Pretty much, again, this is a real good scene for Bullock. Bullock's trying to mediate here. He's trying to say, please. Bullock's really sincerely asking, please let him go. Listen, I know they didn't have your back. Remember, I had your back at the end of the day. Remember, I had your back. So do this. Essentially, he's begging him, do this for me. Otherwise, you have to work with some of these guys. Gordon says, "I'm sorry, Bullock, can't do it." Then basically, sorry, Harv. And then basically, Gordon makes the point, he doesn't bend in this little gesture here. That's Gordon to a T in the comic. Gordon will not bend the principles of the law in that degree. I mean, he might in the comics, obviously work with Batman, but that's still Gordon won't compromise the principles. Obviously, Batman kills someone, he'll take him down in an instant. At least he'll try to.
Yeah, and also Harvey tells Alvarez to put a zipper in it.
Put a zipper on it. I love his delivery too. It's like, come on, Bullock, really some. Hey, Alvarez, put a zipper on it. Bullockisms at their.
I like it's really, really subtle, but they're definitely kind of building up a sort of a dynamic between Gordon and Alvarez. Is that in comics at all?
To be honest with you, I know very little about Alvarez. I'm sure sure they squeezed him in the Gotham Central, and I just missed him, or I'm forgetting about him. But I'm sure he's there somehow. Anyway, one last thing. So again, I love this scene again. Just Bullock kind of literally pleading with Gordon Hughes to let him go for me, so we don't have to deal with these guys. So we can work with some of them, because you're already obviously, you being the uber stiff you are, it's going to be kind of difficult to work with them at this point. Of course, Gordon made the point, I don't work with these corrupt cops. I do everything the straight way, do everything the right way. I love how Bullock, he kind of, before he says, put a zipper on, he's kind of stewing on Gordon's words. I think it's going to foreshadow those two working together. Bullock's kind of thinking, Gordon's kind of gutsy here, but he's got a point. Working honest would be the way I like to work, but I obviously can't do it right now. There's a little pause in between. It's kind of sinking in for Bullock that, man, Gordon's really not going to change. I'm pleading with him. I'm being straight and logical with him. He's not doing it, and he's a smart guy. And I love that sinking in. That Bullock's starting to come around slowly.
Right.
Anyway, we got a crappy scene coming up. Take us through.
Well, I think being a big room aficionado that I am, I can kind of handle the Barbara stuff a bit better than you can. Because, like I said, at this point in the Barbara thing, I am just kind of looking for, like, it's a train wreck. It's just like, what the hell are they going to do next? What are they going to do next to make this woman unlikable?
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. I can't get around the mocking it, because this is a character who, like, in Batman Year 1, you felt genuinely bad for this woman in terms of Gordon is having an affair with, in the comics, he's having an affair with Essen over this woman. You feel bad for Barbara. And how can I feel bad for this Barbara? I'm saying, Gordon, go ahead.
No, now it's like you are yelling at the TV, like, Gordon, why are you staying with this woman? Why does she mean that much to you? For God's sake, let her go, man.
Jim, I know she has a nice apartment, but come on!
I know it's cool to live in a clock tower, but God!
Just lease it to the Clock King and get out of there. Anyway, so let's
shows up in one episode and they make a point about that. That'd be great.
Man, whoever the previous tenants, because again, now what's going to happen in Barbara by the end of this episode, or at least next episode? It seems like the apartment might be vacant after a while.
Oh, all right. Anyways, but
no, so, like you could say, man, this is a nice place. No wonder it's there. Why would they ever sell this place? It's awesome.
So this scene begins with Jim coming home and Barbara almost shooting him.
Jesus. That's visually communicating everything I hate about what she says. It's like, you literally almost shot him. Come on!
Ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Don't you say who is it? Don't you yell who is it? Don't you check the people? Does no one check the people?
So Jim makes a comment about Barbara handling a firearm while drunk. Yeah, very good point.
Points for Gordon in this scene, though. Points for him for saying that.
The one consistent thing they have with Barbara is her.
That she's a train wreck. That she's a freaking train wreck.
Yeah. That's because like we make jokes about all the time how Barbara will just flip-flop on emotions within the same damn scene.
One of the Barbara lines that keeps coming back, and they kind of work into the recap, I really hate, is in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I hate anyway, the point is, like, after Jim takes away the firearm smartly, he takes away the firearm. Yeah. Pretty much she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on edge." She pretty much says, here's the line I hate. She says, "I'm sorry, Jim, it's just ever since that monster Zaz." That monster Zaz? No, it's the fact that she calls in the promos that she keeps calling Zaz a monster. She keeps saying she implies all the horrible stuff that he's done to her. No, she didn't do anything to her.
Like a Funky Town ringtone or what?
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit we don't know what he did to her, but still, it didn't look like she was in peril. But did it look like at all she had anything done to her?
Nothing.
So I'm sure Falcone would have made it perfectly clear. Falcone is a classy guy, especially with women. He kind of respects Barbara too, even though he's stupidly so. Again, he admires like how forefront she was. Because remember, the idea is that she walked up to Falcone and then just pretty much just watched over her in the kitchen. That's pretty much the assumption.
I'm going to do exactly what Jim told me not to do.
Yes, when she did that stupid mistake, she just walked up to Falcone, and Falcone, I assume Falcone treats her nicely. He says, "Hey, Zaz, just watch her in the kitchen, would you?"
Yeah, exactly.
Again, unless it basically is the proof of point, he wouldn't harm Barbara, because he said, "I hope Zaz didn't treat you too badly." But it just implies, I hope he didn't grab me by the arm too hard or anything. I mean, I don't know. It's just this. Don't you agree with me? That's such a stupid line. I hate how she delivers it to every episode recap. I hate the way she's, oh, that monster Zaz. That monster Falcone and that monster Zaz.
And we get just
I'm sorry.
a precious bit of Barbara where, oh God, this is what got under my skin, was she practically begs Jim to lie to her.
Yes, I hate that line. I really hate
Oh my God.
And then she, again, at first, just want to point this out, just let me say this to Barbara if she's listening here. Barbara, I'm sorry, were you shot twice by this guy? Were you in a gunfight with Mr. Zaz? Did you see him make a mark on himself? No? Then why are you calling him a monster aside from he's freaky looking? Did Gordon tell you? No, because I don't blame him for not wanting to talk to you. Jeez, it is ridiculous. I hate this Barbara. I hate her, Tiki.
Like I said, at this point, me a lover of bad film, but I am. I'm just kind of enjoying the ride right now. It's a train wreck, but I think it's an enjoyable train wreck.
She sucks so hard.
Now, Montoya, on the other hand, she's a character that I actually have an attachment to. So, I mean, I'm not saying that the Barbara in the comics isn't interesting. I'm sure you get a lot of sympathy for her in year one, but I'm just saying Montoya is a bona fide badass, and so I think that that the damage they're doing to her character just for cheap drama is a lot.
So after Barbara says, "Please, Jim, lie to me. Tell me there aren't any monsters, please." There aren't any monsters, Barbara. It's like it's like the way they're writing the relationship between these two is as if she's a stupid kid and Gordon's her father. Come on.
And you can just see her like turning around and being like, "Jim, you lied to me, and I just can't be in this relationship, Jim, because you lied to me, even though I told you to lie."
It's like she's a Kardashian. Come on.
Like, it's like I literally got the feeling that she asked Jim to lie just to set up Jim in the future to give her a reason to be pissed at him.
Yeah, she's like. The thing is, it's always eternally doomed between James and Barbara, but still, it's not supposed to go down this way. That's the biggest. It's like, yeah, they're supposed to separate in the future, but not for these reasons. I mean, if they're going to separate, they have to get. If you want to play the whole separation, at least get them married first, then separate them. Otherwise, why do it? You're just making a crappy relationship, which we know is going to end with them getting together.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous. At least if they were married, then I could give them something like, okay, well, this is obviously Gordon's going to separate from her. Why wouldn't he?
And like we said, it's the thing I guess I'm kind of pissed at the most, and I'm sure you probably are too, is that, excuse me, not only does this, of course, this is just, taking the character of Barbara Keene and just completely just mulling her over with a frickin', just mulling her over with a tractor, just destroying her. It's also taking away some of the integrity of Gordon. Because, because we respect Gordon less as an audience because he wants to stay with this woman.
Which for me is painful.
Oh, of course, I'm sure.
Okay, anyway, let's get to our next scene. We've wasted enough time bashing Barbara.
Oh god, but it's so fun.
Anyways, let's see. We're with Black Mask right now.
Uh-huh.
We see some men in cages, and we see the reveal of the Black Mask, which has an Asian look, it has a Japanese look to it, which was the only reason in the promo it made me think it wasn't Black Mask, because it is black, but it's very Japanese. I'm thinking it might be like one of these. There's a comic called like Batman manga, where pretty much Batman went to Japan and they had like a guy wearing a kind of some Japanese only mask. I'm thinking, could they be doing that guy or like a takeoff of that guy?
Right.
There's points like I like the Black Mask. It's cool looking, but still, just the Japanese thing threw me off for a bit until I kind of caught on to like the whole warrior motif. But still, the mustache looks a little silly when you really think about it, but it's fine because it's going for the Japanese thing. If it wasn't going for the Japanese thing, that mustache would look ridiculous. You know what's so funny? It just kind of dawned on me right now.
What?
It's that Gordon does not have a mustache, yet Black Mask does, and it's like what they're going for in this episode is that these two guys kind of reflecting Jim's inner demons, or like some missing an element he won't confront. And what if the mustache is one of his elements?
Mustache is like the visual representation of his inner demons.
I'm saying, what if the mustache is? It's like one of those things you beat it, like kind of like a boss battle. You beat it, and then you kind of take some of the power with you. So what if it basically like you've earned the? Basically, what if it's saying you've earned the mustache? Just, basically, you've earned the mustache. It will come to you in time.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway.
Oh. Okay, so we've got
another crappy scene.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the morning after, and oh god, this is the scene. Like, this is like the pinpoint scene for me.
The only reason Gordon's with her is for sex. Let's just say it now, okay? That's the only, because every time she walks out wearing one of Gordon's shirts. She looks okay. It looks okay, but still, she's dumb as a sack of bricks. How does Gordon do it? Again, she's a Kardashian. What gives?
Okay, so she says that last night was quote-unquote just nerves. And she brings up the half-load thing again, which I'm sure got under your skin.
She brings up the what?
The half-load.
Half-load. I'm sorry.
I want to carry half your load.
Oh, that. Sorry, I thought you said something else. Like half the bullets were in the gun or something. No, half your load thing was stupid. I hate when she said that. Yeah.
And Jim stupidly gives her the gun out of trust.
Oh, God.
Again, this is like the prime example of Jim doing something that makes us slightly lose respect for him as a character.
At the very least, he puts it in a box, so basically he's kind of hoping that she gets killed trying to open the box.
Wow.
I was saying he locked the box and then he gave her the key, but I'm hoping it was the wrong key.
So at this point, the character of Barbara is so bad that you want Jim to essentially be a murderer to get her out of...
Maybe not. Maybe Gordon's been on part of this whole series so far, but maybe, again, whether it's intentional or not, just maybe, Gordon slips up here. Maybe he just, oh yeah, I gave her the handcuff keys. Oh, that's a shame. Oh well, hey Harvey, let's go grab some drinks, would you? I'm just saying, maybe Gordon makes a mistake again, like Penguin. He's human, maybe he just grabs the wrong set of keys, gives it to her, and basically can't open the box when the moment comes. Maybe throwing it out there.
What's the line that Barbara has after he gives her the gun?
I don't know. I don't care enough, Tiki. Let's just move on.
Well, she just she has the line right after that where she says something like really snippy.
Oh, yeah, I remember. She says something really stupid too. I remember.
Yeah.
She says, "Oh, just ignore me. I'm tired."
Yeah, exactly. But I like what'd she say to say that?
Oh, I remember. She says, I remember the line, Tiki. She says, okay. It's so stupid. Gordon says, after Gordon hands her the key, which hopefully was a handcuff key so she can't open the gun box, he hands her the key, and then he says, I wish it wasn't like this. Basically, I wish the situation wasn't so dangerous you have to have a gun to protect yourself. And then she says,
I bet you do.
Yeah. And then I think Gordon says, what is that supposed to mean? He says, oh, just ignore me. I'm tired. Stupid.
Again, this is a character that flip-flops on emotion within the same damn scenes multiple times.
It would be a hilarious fan service moment for us.
What?
If Gordon just heard that line that he just suddenly pulled out his gun and shot her in the leg, then follow me on this. Follow me.
This character is so bad that you're wishing your hero, Jim Gordon, do physical harm on her. That is
Follow me on this. Follow me on this. And then he snaps out of it and he realizes it was the dream. Jim, is something wrong? No.
Oh my God.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm talking about this shit. This shit is like a podcasting gift in disguise, I tell you.
Okay, next gift. It's the only negative element of our series.
Yeah, but it's kind of like all the stupid, ridiculous plot hole nonsense in Once Upon a Time. If it wasn't in there, we wouldn't have as much to talk about.
Like the missing kid.
Right, exactly.
By the way, you gotta change the screenshot on that. It's ridiculous.
Wait, what?
We'll talk about it later. Moving on.
What, are you talking about the worst dad ever?
Yeah, it's silly.
Oh, no, I like that. Nah.
It has nothing to do with the episode. It's silly.
No, it has everything to do with what we're talking. All right, anyways. All right, so next scene we have another Enigma scene.
This scene was great.
Barber scene. Oh, yeah.
It was great. Again, to counterbalance all the negative Barber stuff, we got great Enigma stuff.
What's the difference between a dead man, a cruise ship, and an emo? That's right. Absolutely nothing.
First of all, I love how Enigma does, like, he's in the coroner's section of I assume the police department. Mm-hmm. It might be a separate forensics lab. I bet money it's in the police department also.
Yeah.
Essentially, he does this kind of, it's like an old style, like back in the 20s, no, not 20s, back in the 30s, like the boxing announcers, like they lower down the microphone, you grab it by the hand, that sort of thing to record his. Instead of like using like a little tape recorder, he's using the hanging microphone to do it, like an old news radio.
Right.
Really funny. It's a minor thing I noticed, and also he opens the thing just to test if it's recording, saying, I'm saving muffin for later. He's saving his lunch. He's saving part of his muffin for later.
Again, a little bit of a muffin callback from last episode.
Yeah.
The show has the most bizarre motifs sometimes.
Yeah, we got sniffing, we got shoes, we got muffins. Mother of God.
Alright, so anyways, so then the guy... wait, no, I'm sorry.
Enigma, he examines the wounds and stuff. He finds copious amounts of office supplies and signs like thumbtacks in the guy's wounds, and also he finds some more of that black ink. So much curiouser and curiouser. Walks in the actual coroner, and he's none too pleased. He did what? Walks in there. He says, Enigma, how many times have I told you? Get out of here! Stop! Focus on your own job. And Enigma says, "Oh, you'll be sorry." You know. Basically says, "But I found something." He says, "Enigma, get out." It's okay, but you'll be sorry. And also, I love on his way out, he calls him a sloppy ignoramus.
A sloppy ignoramus. Yes, that's
hilarious. That's a Riddler thing. Riddler in the comics and everything, he would always, when he gets fed up with somebody, he would always call him like the most complex, most intelligent insults.
Oh, I love that.
Like he also calls a lot of people Neanderthals a lot. Again, he's really like on top of the food chain in his mind, this guy.
I could make an obscure Big Brother joke right here, but I won't, so I'll spare everyone that. Moving on. Neanderthal! Okay, I did it. Moving on. Okay, so...
I don't remember that in the book.
What, in what book?
Dumb joke, never mind. Anyway, let's see, so... meanwhile, back where are we now? So we see the chicks dig Bruce Wayne as he's walking down.
Yes, right from an early age. Yeah.
I love the joking theory thrown out that maybe that's Julie Madison. Could be, maybe. Who knows?
I'm not.
Just one of Bruce's many love interests.
One of many lovers. Okay.
I'm just saying it's because she had red hair and the same thing with the girl and the guys. Bruce has nothing with redheads, as we learned nothing from Vicky Vale. Not the movie. The movie got it wrong. She's actually redhead in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
However, Bob Kane wanted her blonde, so that's the reason I guess they didn't have any issue with it. Maybe, I don't know. They had a lot of things wrong in that movie.
And then we learn that Tommy is, in fact, a major douche.
And a major character. We get official name. We get Tommy Elliott confirmed.
Mm-hmm. But this guy, he's just like, oh my god, so insensitive. You want to run us by some of the stuff he does? Some stuff he says here?
Sure. Let's see. So Tommy Elliott, and again, for those who may not be aware, Tiki, Tommy Elliott essentially in the comics and the whole story with him is that usually it's not carried out in the best of way in terms of the writing, but the idea is a really cool idea. That Paul Dini, the animated series writer, when he writes the character, he writes him really well.
Mm.
Again, he's not terrible usually. It's just sometimes it could be done better. Tommy Elliott was a friend of Bruce Wayne's in the past, at least kind of more so like a forced friend, like basically kind of. Back when Thomas and Martha Wayne were alive, Bruce and Tommy Elliott would hang out because they both had rich parents.
Right. Yeah.
And they really kind of played with strategy and stuff. Like they'd play chess together. They'd wrestle occasionally. Not because Elliot had a lot of rage issues. Because he hated his parents, essentially. Basically, he always wanted his parents to die. And essentially, he in a weird way, he idolized Thomas Wayne also. And essentially, he caused his parents to have a car accident. And Thomas Wayne saved his mother. Deformed, I put her in a wheelchair, pretty much, because she survived the accident, didn't survive well. And he always hated the fact that he couldn't get his full amount, and one of his parents survived because Thomas Wayne, saved him. And he always hated the Waynes. He always jealous. At his core, he's just really jealous of Bruce, and he wants to become Bruce Wayne.
Right. Okay. Cool.
In the comics, his whole thing is like he tries to pretend he's Bruce Wayne. He steals his identity all the time, and he hates Bruce Wayne. That's the big thing. He's so insanely jealous of Bruce Wayne. He hates him. Mm-hmm. And they used to be friends in childhood. That's the whole shtick with it. Anyway, so Thomas Elliot. Sorry, a little detraction there. Anyway, so let's see. Thomas Elliot, he wants details because he's a sick puppy. Apparently he and Bruce are friends, and then Bruce, you can tell even from the beginning, you get a sense that Bruce isn't too crazy about this guy because he's a sick puppy. I assume he wants details because he wants his own parents to die, which again is consistent with the comics.
Oh, okay, nice. You see, I didn't pick up on that at all.
Again, the point is the underlying thing, which you can only hope if they bring this kid back, they're going to go on with kind of some of the stuff I just told you right now.
Sure, definitely.
Again, it seems open enough here that he's really jealous of Bruce Wayne. That's why he wants details, because he's really jealous. And again, he's so sick and demented too. He wants details about the death, and Bruce won't give it to him, obviously. Because what are you, you horrific son of a? Come on.
Right.
So pretty much, he's jealous that Bruce lost both his parents, and he wants details, and Bruce isn't telling him.
Mm.
That always just seems very, very unpleasant here. I mean, good acting on the kid, but still, it seems like the most unpleasant, unrealistically unpleasant, because he thinks Bruce Wayne has everything he wants, and even dead parents now. So, oh, come on, Wayne gets everything.
Yeah, I mean, but what you said about how if he's fishing for information because he wants his own parents to die, then I can kind of forgive that, though. I think that's interesting if they do go in that direction.
I know, yeah, that's hopefully the direction they are going, and just the kind of yeah. Anyway, let's see. So anyway, he wants details. Bruce says no, and he walks away. It just takes it as an insult to him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so next scene we have Liza and Fish meeting in a very unconventional place. They're meeting in a church confession booth. And Liza, okay, I will give you this. She does have a pretty good line here where she's like, bless me, mother, for I have sinned. And then Fish is just like, very funny.
Anyway, so she's there to give her an update of what's happening. Yeah, pretty much I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything like illicit yet. I'm his little errand girl.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm his lover, his daughter, or what. I don't know. Pretty much.
I don't know if I'm his maid, his lover, or his mother. And then Fish makes the very good point. You have to be all three.
Oh yeah, and pretty much she makes the one. Apparently he cares about you, which is good. And pretty much, you've been to his office, yeah? Okay, listen, now in his office, there's in one of the drawers, you're going to find a ledger. I want you to copy the last 2 pages for him. To do it, you're going to need to drug him. So here, there's a little vial. I love this idea that you put like a little vial anticipating the meeting under the chair. Waiting for it. That's a cool meeting move. Whenever you have like a cool stealthy meeting, you got to have cool stuff like that happen. And pretty much, and this moment, She asked, this won't kill him. Well, I gotta tell you, that's a stupid question, I think. I don't know, it's maybe.
Okay, that's kind of like the issue I have with this Liza character, is that it's like, for someone who literally killed another woman with her bare hands for a job, yeah, she's a little bit flaky when it comes to this whole mission.
In her defense, though, she's kind of a street girl from what we gathered. What I mean is, obviously she's not as cunning as the rest of our, as 2 of our female characters.
Oh, Barbara Keene is so cunning.
Maybe she's just playing. And actually, what if she's
so in the season finale, she reveal oh, by the way, I've secretly been an evil mastermind this whole time.
What if she's just a cross-dressing Joker?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh God!
Oh, Jimmy, miss me?
That I think that tops the Chase Meridian theory right there.
Oh, no, that would be horrible. No. But what am I saying? Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, so the point is, I'm saying I'm halfway saying that maybe it's kind of a dumb thing to say he's going to kill him. Because think about it, you're there, she went all that trouble to put you there.
That is literally your job.
So is it going to kill him? You know it's not going to kill him. Otherwise, it would have been done already. I mean, have you learned? You just established you didn't learn anything. You haven't really learned anything. He's kept the whole business to himself at this point. You know that he's still necessary. Anyways, the point is, Fish makes the point. Oh, you're starting to care about him, aren't you? Says, I'm trying to think. She's are you starting to care about him? Says, no. I just want to know if I'm going to kill him or not.
Mm.
And she said, no, it's just gonna make him sleep. She had a really cool line. I'm trying to think of it. Oh yeah, I remember. She says, it's just gonna make him sleep while you copy the ledger. And because I'm not gonna kill him. What I intend to do, I'm gonna siphon his strength slowly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a good line. I still want to see her use her teeth to kill someone by the end of the episode.
Oh, I'm sure she's.
Still waiting for that.
I don't know if they're going to go as gruesome as the teeth. I think she's going to try it. I don't think they're going to get to it, but I'm sure she's going to do it to somebody. I don't know. I'm just wondering.
It's like Chekhov.
I'm just wondering how far they can go with how far they can go with the teeth thing, because it is kind of it's a gruesome thing. Right. They've done some gruesome stuff. I'm wondering if they can get away with the teeth or not.
I would hope so, because I really want to see it.
Point is, let's see. Basically, it's a really tense situation going on there that. You can tell Eliza under a lot of pressure there, and she's kind of in the middle of all this.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, I'm going to siphon his strength off slowly, pretty much, and then at the end, kill him with my bare hands and my teeth. Anyway, so guess we're on to our next scene. Pretty much, go off, do damage.
All right, so we have Gordon and Harvey, and they are
on the case.
They're interviewing the head of the Cyanos Corporation. Did I say that right? Cyanos?
Well, I always say this wrong, but it sounds catchiest to me, Sionis, but it's like Sionis. It's actually apparently in the episode they call it. In the episode, the consensus is it's actually pronounced Sionis.
Sionis, okay.
I call it Sionis because it sounds cooler to me.
Okay. All right, so let's see. This guy, this head of Sionis or Sionis.
Well, remember, they walk into the building. What do they see? They see pretty much proof that this is definitely the place we're looking for because all the people look like they work in a fight club. But like after hours, they go to the office fight club, which actually, in fact, they do. They're all broken noses, like repaired broken noses, like marks, like knuckle marks in the face. Like, oh, well, you think we're in the right place?
Yeah.
So they find the beaten businessman and basically looking for Coleman Lawson. So again, Lawson, not Reese, but it could be. A guy can drink, can he? Anyway, so then they go to the boss. The boss's name, and this is important. He's an important big part of speculation. We're going to try to go through real quick here. Richard Sionis, or now you got me doing Sionis or Sionis. Anyway, so his first name is Richard. Now in the comics, Tiki, I got a few theories on this. Okay. Comics, his name's Roman Sionis.
Roman Sionis, okay.
Roman Sionis. Now, I think they've given it one mention in total in the series so far, but Falcone's nickname is the Roman also.
Yeah, you're right. They have, yeah.
Now, here's my theory. I got two theories. Theory one, I think most likely, is that this is going to be our actual Black Mask. Because, Black Mask, they can always toy with the age a little, because, it can be an older businessman who really cares. Because the mask kind of hides it all, usually.
Sure.
So they could be doing that, and basically we can just assume the series things. They change the name much like they do with Poison Ivy, perhaps. At least a little bit like Poison, what they do with Poison Ivy. To basically accommodate.
Ivy's like a weird sort of pilot thing where it's like she was in a lot of the promotional stuff, but I doubt we're ever going to see her again.
Well, I hear she's got at least one more coming, which probably after the season break, if ever.
Oh.
I say if we don't see her in the past season break, I don't think she's coming back. And 2 is a stretch if they're doing her then. But anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So my guess is like basically they just only want to have one guy named Roman or the Roman, so they're just keeping one. They're taking away his first name, just changing it to Richard, so they can avoid like two guys named Roman. That's most likely. That's what I bet money on. That's the reason. However, another idea, and this is always welcomed. Some people might be a little less accepting of this one. That maybe, because I hear they're doing the same thing with the Scarecrow down the line, so it's up in there. Maybe again, if I was confirmed for Scarecrow, that scares me a lineage thing. So maybe, maybe not.
Right.
Maybe they meant Black Mask. We don't know. That perhaps he has a son named Roman.
Oh, okay, okay.
And years down the line, just I like the idea of the Black Mask moniker being held passed down. So if this is the last time, or one of the few times you can see Richard, he just passes down the mask to his son, or like in the future, like carry on the Silence legacy. Or basically, what if a bunch of other guys? So while Richard's in prison, what if his family or just some other guys that eventually would lead to his son got the mask? Pretty much.
So in a way, it kind of becomes a little bit like the Black Hood or the Red Hood thing.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
A little bit.
So like, what if just like other guys in his organization put on the mask and gave the orders to kind of promote the organization? Maybe at some point it lands with his son, or at least implied it lands with his son in the future or something. I don't know. It's an idea, but still, most likely just changes so they don't have two Romans.
Right. Okay. Cool.
What we learn about Sionis here?
Well, first of all, as soon as we walk into his office, we see all these tribal masks on the wall. So we got a real warrior motif going on. Gordon questions him about that.
A lot of samurai stuff, a lot of masks, a lot of Japanese stuff.
Oh yeah. Gordon questions him about this, and Sionis, he says, well, in order to be a businessman, a good businessman, or what's he say? What's the quote?
In order to be well, I'm not sure if I have the exact quote, but like, in order to be a good businessman, you got to be a warrior. You have to be ruthless like a warrior. And I love how I forget what kind of propels this, but Gordon, like Bullock in the background, he's like, I love the Bullock's just like in the background, like toying with the stuff, he's like pulling the knife out and out of the slot.
I did notice that. I'll totally have to get back and rewatch it.
It's really funny. Anyways, first of all, kind of to say this before we go any further, I really love the actor they got to play. I love the actor they got to play Black Mask. I really like this guy. I do hope he comes back because he was cool. Again, if this isn't one of my favorites, it's definitely more of my silly favorites because basically this is my episode where we don't want Gordon to be Batman in the show. However, if you give him a few Batman moments, this is definitely the episode to do it later on. This episode is most like fan servicey, giving Gordon some really awesome moments for me.
And also some really terrible moments with Babs, but that's a different story.
Aside from that, but I'd say that's the exception we give every episode, except Viper, because Viper was awesome because she wasn't it.
Viper is the best episode of this series simply because it doesn't have Babs in it.
Anyway, my point is that the Sionis was cool in this episode. The point is I forget what propels this, but he says something along the lines of, to be a good businessman, you must be a warrior. And then Gordon says that really cool line. He says, "No, you don't." Bruce says, warriors fight wars. To be a good businessman, like you have to be, smart, cunning, and all that stuff. Bruce says, do actual business stuff. And he says, like, this stuff is play acting. Basically, Gordon says, let me guess, this stuff is just it's play acting. Obviously he takes a little bit of offense to this, but he's really intrigued by Gordon. I love this. He's intrigued by Gordon because he can see the warrior spirit inside him because he picks up on the fact that he was actually in a war.
Oh yeah. And
true killers are easy to spot. Oh, I love that line.
We also get a really good line about how the mask is the true face of the soul.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that has a lot of relevance to Black Mask as a character in the comics.
Black Mask, they always kind of do some, Black Mask, they never, just period with Black Mask, never give him enough to do because can be a really cool guy, but he doesn't appear as often as you think he would.
I mean, he's one of those characters that I was actually kind of shocked that he never showed up in the Nolan trilogy because he seems tailor-made.
Everyone thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to be Black Mask for a while.
Oh, man. Oh, that would have been so much better.
And everyone, back when David S. Goyer, nowadays he's kind of blighted. He's kind of David Scory is kind of now infamous for a lot of stuff, but back when we were looking for anything for Batman, back when we were looking for anything for Batman 3, he basically he's the wise guy who said, "Well, we're not doing a character that's been done before," and that led everyone to believe, "Well, who's the coolest bad guy we could have aside from just any awesome like smaller guys like Clock King? Well, let's throw in Black Mask. He's an awesome mob boss with a cool gimmick."
They did Bane, and then they gave Bane the exact same flaws he had in Batman and Robin.
All right, let's not dwell on this, okay?
He even had a bomb! They gave him a bomb!
It was just one.
One of these days, BlueDragonFive, one of these days, you and me need to have a proper Dark Knight Rises debate.
Anyway, well, you distracted me. Okay, so basically, says, true kills reasons. But yeah, the cool thing with the mask is that he kind of emphasizes the point masks are freeing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that is a cool parallel, especially the Batman, just showing you the mask is freeing to do. This point I really wanted to hit on that this mask is freeing bit bridges to Bruce's story, what he's going to discover in this episode. You're basically kind of the freeing of doing what Batman does.
Mm-hmm.
How, of course, Black Mask has a lot of the comics usually pent up anger and stuff to pretty much. So he rules. He's a very cruel man, ideally.
Right.
Very, very cruel man. He wears the mask. The mask is kind of the symbol of his power, and he usually kind of makes a big deal out of the mask thing usually.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the idea that's kind of the reason he embraces this mask particularly. It's not because in the comics the idea was he wore the mask is made out of his parents' caskets. It's like originally it was carved out of black wood into a skull mask, and then at some point during an accident it was melted to his face, so like you can never take it off.
Ooh.
So before before he just wore it, then it became
right.
It drove him crazy. Black Mask is one of the Batman villains who indeed goes to Arkham.
Sure. Okay. We have Gordon questions Sionis about the rough shape of the employees at the office, and he actually kind of has a rather lame lie. Oh well, our company has very rough football games.
I love how Gordon calls bull on it.
Oh yeah.
Really good stuff. Again, it's just the last thing I'll say on it is, again, that whole mask is freeing him. A really good parallel to Batman. Just kind of a really cool idea that he unleashes his inner monster by covering up his face, and that he practices anonymity, which of course is going to be a huge tool to Batman later on.
Sure.
And this is also an issue Gordon's kind of confronting, like his inner rage that's kind of building while he's fighting this city, pretty much.
Mm. Oh yeah.
So again, I love how Black Mask pretty much Gordon says, "I'm going to catch you." He relishes Gordon's passion. He says, "Oh, I can't wait to see more of that warrior in you." Very much. And then I love that Bullock has the last line steals the show. After Gordon Gordon pulls him close by the tie and tells him, "I'm going to catch you."
Right.
Bullock walks away and he says, "I give you the whole good cop routine, but it's not my toolkit."
Oh yeah. I gotta say though, in the past couple episodes, we haven't had another Holy Ghost on a bicycle moment with Bullock. Good lines, but don't quite pop off the page as that does. All right, but so is that the end of that scene?
No, not exactly. Let's see. So again, Gordon says, "You killed him. We'll prove it." Gordon finds a blood trail on his way out. Mm-hmm. And this leads him to the men's room. In the men's room, he finds, he finds the fingerless man, gets into a scuffle. Bullock saves the day, and Harvey says, "You should have waited for me." He knocks the guy up the door.
Yeah. Okay, so next scene. Literally, the only thing I have written down in my notes for this next scene is what a jerk.
Yeah, Bruce shouldn't have slapped him. No, I'm kidding.
All right, but first of all, I hate how he calls him Brucey. That is so condescending.
Oh no, that's something that he would do in the comics. Really, anyone who's familiar with Bruce, they always call him Brucey.
Oh really? Okay.
Like Harley Quinn, whenever she would run in with Bruce Wayne, just in public, she always said, "Oh hey, Brucey."
It's just the tone of this kid. He just says it in such a way. God, it makes my skin curl a little bit.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Again, just remember. Hopefully, they're going in the direction that again he's like this because he's insanely jealous of Bruce Wayne. It's driving him nuts.
Oh yeah. So
anyway, so let's see. He has really mean lines too. Like no kid would say these things unless he was crazy like Tommy Elliott.
Right.
He says,
right.
I don't like that. He basically says I don't like to be called that. And pretty much he says no something, but then he says, oh yeah, no parents either.
Yeah, right. As if, like, he basically implies as if, like, having no parents, like, makes you forfeit the right to have an opinion or something like that.
I guess he says, he says something along the lines of, I don't like to be called that, and then Prince says, yeah, no parents either.
Again, as my notes say, what a jerk.
Then Bruce says, like, I don't understand what, and this is funny, Bruce is kind of speaking to the audience here, he's saying, I don't understand why you're being like this. I don't understand why you're being so cruel or something along those lines. And he says, well, you're a weirdo. That's what Thomas Elliott says. Yeah, because Bruce he's all serious and he's pretty much saying, I'm trying to understand you. He says, you're a weirdo. Again, Bruce doesn't take kindly to Elliot's, and this is really cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't go the way the Bat fan in my heart wishes it would go.
No, but I like the fact that Batman's not just a total kick ass and take names badass.
Not yet.
Start.
Not yet. Hopefully, season 2 will be like Hit Girl or something for all we know.
Ooh, I could see that. Yeah, but I like the fact that we're starting small with him.
That's fine.
Smart.
That's fine. So the point is, Bruce doesn't take kindly to Elliot's about to make a reference to like his mom, and before he can even finish the sentence, Bruce slaps him. Don't talk about my mother.
Oh yeah.
And then very much then just kind of cuts the next scene before we see what Elliot does, and we kind of know what he's gonna. I like it they didn't show it too, because I was like cringing, like, oh, Bruce, don't just slap him. Come on. I know slaps equally as insulting, but unless you got some fist to back it up, it's not going to end well.
Right.
Anyway, next scene.
So next scene.
Really creepy scene.
Oh yeah. We have Penguin, and he's got Timothy, the fish's umbrella holder, if you will, hung upside down, and he's essentially interrogating him for information.
And he says, no, please, I'm not going to talk. He says, oh, no, I forget what he said. If he says, does he say he's going to talk or he's not going to talk?
I'm not sure. It's been a while.
Point is, he says whatever he's about to say. He says, oh, no, there will be time for that. But first there's going to be torture. Or essentially along the lines of, first, there will be time for that. And he basically, like, this Penguin's so sadistic, he wants to soften up before he says, I remember, he tells him to shush. Like, shh, there'll be time for that later.
Yeah.
Tells him to shush, and basically while they're beating the crap out of him, Penguin's like just eating an apple. And he's peeling the apple with a knife too. As you hear the guy being beaten off screen.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so next scene. Oh god, I have like quite a bit of notes for it, but my notes don't really. A lot of vague stuff. So I want to take us through it.
Yeah, sure. Gordon and Bullock, they're interrogating the fingerless guy, the one finger minus guy. A little chat, a little interrogation here. Pretty much, they find out after they kind of they don't beat the guy. He's been beaten up enough. They get some information from him. They find out this is part of the hiring process, the sick, demented Fight Club style hiring process. You beat the guy to death, and you get a contract with this very exclusive company. Apparently, well, who would work there under these conditions? That's my question.
Well, who would want to work for Fish Mooney doing the job that Liza's doing too?
It just shows you how bad Gotham is. Not only for I guess it's in some sort of depression, as we can assume.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just
that. These days, with the whole recession and everything, and the Hunger Games being as big as it is, I think it's fair to say that a lot of fiction is kind of taking influence of that, and I think Gotham's no different.
Oh yeah, but also it's just showing how far gone Gotham is in terms of its morals. Hopefully Jim Gordon can bring him back a little, because pretty much everyone's like after themselves, and people are literally enjoying what's about to come next.
Right.
Anyway, so let's see. Pretty much they find it as part of the hiring process, and the whole thing's protected under the confidentiality agreement. So that's they sign off, so they don't tell what happens at the company because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, meanwhile, let's see. So Nigma, so I guess Gordon's left alone in there. Bullock comes out, and they Essen, I guess. Pretty much, we find out Nigma's found some evidence of office supplies, old news. Then Nigma reveals some proven information. Pretty much, there are 4 other victims in the cases spanning 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Good work, Eddie. Meanwhile, then a lawyer, unfortunately, as it constantly happens, lawyer swoops in before Gordon gave confession written down on paper. Right before that moment, lawyer comes in, swoops in before the confession. Essen's told this, I guess. Pretty much, Essen's now talking with Gordon, pretty much saying, "This is nuts. This beating people like a fight club. What's the city coming to?" Again, I like this. Essen's starting to get some development. I knew what. Corrupt. This bad? People are hired to beat the crap out of each other.
And then, of course, Gordon has the awesome line, "Yeah, but what makes this any different than the goat or the balloon man?" Love that, because it gives some significance to those 2 villains who are kind of, in a way, very one-off, sort of procedural villains. You know how I feel about procedural in general, and how I don't want the show to be procedural, so...
Yeah, sure. Anyway, he's also saying it's basically, well, maybe all this madness is under the surface. I mean, is it because... Also, maybe it's because of the Wayne case, or just because the city's just so... Without the Waynes, the city's so bad off, it's just lacking hope.
Mm.
It's lacking morals.
I also love how Essence is, she openly states that she feels guilty about leaving Jim, even though Jim told her to leave. So
yeah, I love how Gordon makes up. No, listen, Essence. Your family worried about it. It's fine.
But not only is Essence like coming around to the good side, like she's like genuinely feeling like, she's genuinely kind of struggling with herself in in a pretty compelling way, I think.
Why can't Montoya do that? Seriously, if Montoya gave at least as much effort as Essen is here, come on.
Because Montoya is a lesbian, BlueDragonFive, and we need to use that for cheap drama.
Well, lesbians aren't evil.
Oh, God. No, but they do provide cheap drama.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Anyway. So, meanwhile, Bruce is coming out of school. He's trying to hurry back in the car. Alfred knows he's got a dark spot under his chin. He's been beaten up by Tommy Elliott, and obviously Alfred's none too pleased, because I'm assuming he knows how much of a snotty brat that Elliott can be.
Oh yeah.
So
I love how Bruce is like, "Don't tell the school," and then Alfred has a really good line. He's like, "Not bloody likely."
Oh yeah, that's great. Alfred's kind of like the parent in this episode. Alfred's kind of the parent you kind of wish you had.
Yeah, for sure.
However, let's be honest. At least I know this is true for me. I'm sure there's some people out there. Your parents always, if you ever came home beaten up or basically you got into a fight or something, they'd always tell you, "Well, yeah, fight back. It's fine by me. Listen, just beat the crap out of them." Basically, hey, someone threatens you or touches you, by all means, wail back. You're fine with me. You have to play the rational one, say, no, it's not the way to do it. Anyway.
Okay, so we got. We learn that Sionis, he owns half of the office buildings in Gotham. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay. And so, we have a montage of Gordon Bullock looking through office buildings.
Wait, what? No, there's a montage of office buildings.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know he owns a lot of office buildings, but then they pretty much track it down to 3, I guess. Or something. Okay. Track it down to a certain... You might be somewhat right about that. I thought they said 3, but the point is they track down to
I think I'm wrong about the montage part.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're wrong about the montage, but I thought they tracked it down to 3.
I'm so used to a montage being in this place in the episode where it's like, oh, we have to find the villain, we have to find the bad guy, montage time.
No, but the point is they got a list of the potential buildings. Gordon and Bullock. They got to split up the list of names. Gordon, Bullock, you check up on this thing. One thing I got to ask you about, Tiki. One second. Pretty much. He hands like the half of the list of Bullock, and Jim's heading off, and then Bullock kind of stops him and saying, that Sionis guy's got your number. Because he's right about you. You like fighting. You like fighting. And we're saying also under the surface that you like fighting these uphill battles. That's why you're being so difficult.
Right, yeah.
And pretty much then Bullock says, when you want to do something possible, like do something that sounds sane, rational, call me. So I'm wondering, is he still going out looking into the names, or is he just saying, no, I'm busy right now? Get your head on straight, then call me. What is he saying here? Because later on, apparently, he still hadn't gone over. I don't know if he was in the process of going through the list or if he hadn't gotten to it at all yet because he was waiting. I don't know.
I don't know. I'd like to think that Barbara is just genuinely just unpleasant and he does not want to talk to her and he's pissed off at her. I'd like to think that's what's going on.
Barbara? No, I'm talking about Bullock.
Oh, shit!
Who's saying Barbara?
God.
Bullock.
I'm sorry, I got totally, wow, I'm sorry. Mixed up. That's embarrassing.
That's next.
Yes, I know, I got my notes mixed up.
It comes in a second. Hold on a second, we'll get to Barbara in a second.
Oh God, okay, so...
You see what I mean? So what do you think? I'm going to assume Bullock was still looking the whole time, he just said that for dramatic effect. It's kind of a neat point he's trying to get across. So, you have these essentially what he's saying is you have these ridiculous, like unachievable goals to help the city, where you're not realizing we need to work with these corrupt guys, whether or not is what he's really saying there. Is that you like fighting these uphill battles because you're almost like a masochist like that, man. You gotta ease up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it just kind of speaks to the overall sort of dynamic between Gordon and Bullock that's been set up since the pilot. You know what I mean? So I like it.
That's fine. I mean, that's a good scene.
Yeah.
Go a little bit. Then.
So now can we get to the Barbara stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Now, folks, I'm sure you're wondering, how can I get more dukes than they're trying to shoot them? What could possibly be more ridiculous and stupid than that? Believe it or not, it happens. What happens, Dickie?
Well, essentially, Barbara decides to leave Jim.
Not yet.
Well, I know, but this is kind of like the kind of building up to it.
All right, go ahead. Why? What's happening with Barbara?
Because Gordon won't talk to poor Barbara. Because Gordon's got a really high-profile, dangerous job, and poor Barbara, because she's checking in and she wants to talk, but Gordon, no. Like I said, I hope that it's just that Gordon just is realizing that this woman is genuinely unpleasant and just doesn't want to talk to her.
No, I think it's, again, Gordon, he must be stupidly in love. When they say, when you're in love, you're blind, that must be it. Must be deaf, too.
God.
That, Gordon, so Gordon gets called from Barbara. Barbara, I'm just checking in. Barbara, I'm a little busy right now. Can I call you back? Oh, sure, just click, mid-sentence. So apparently, as Tiki just kind of said, so apparently Barbara gets really peeved about this, and she realizes and apparently just from this, it's such a childish, immature, like the most childish thing she's done aside from going directly to visit the bad guys.
Yeah.
She basically, what she's going to do is she's going to leave Gordon, give him a Dear John letter over the hang-up on a phone call, which you could easily say was he's busy with stuff. Let me get this straight, Barbara. I'm going to save my rant for later. I'm going to do that. I'm going to save it for later. Let's move on. Just move on.
Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. If this is your rant now, I can't imagine what your rant at the end of next episode will be.
Tiki, you're going to need to buy some earplugs for next episode. Anyways, let's see, we got Liza. Liza's with some tea tension. She's pouring the thing, poison in. Also, there's a good line we kind of skimmed over that. What if his men catch me? Well, then you're dead. Yeah, really tense for Liza.
Oh, yeah.
Liza, she's being interrupted. Hey, boss wants his tea now. That guy's a little impatient. She spills a little bit of it, then she pours the rest of it in there. Meanwhile, Gordon, he happens upon the crime scene we opened on, the little fighting brawl room. And then he finds the men in the cages, and he says, hey, right before he says, hey, is there anyone else here? Boom, gets knocked out.
Don't tase me, bro.
He gets tasered, yes. Gets tasered, knocked out, and then Simon has a really funny line here. He says, yes. I think it's all he says, just yes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, and then that's the commercial, and then we get a really awkward kind of like transition.
Yeah,
I'll give the episode.
Yeah, it's just plot convenience that we gotta get Selena in the station by the end of the episode. So they gotta do it. I think it's a stupid way for her to get caught, though.
I want to make it clear, though, I really do like what they do with her next episode. I think next episode is like, it is total validation for Selena kind of being in the shadows for most of the series. But,
yeah, I'm with you. Look, we're on the Selena bandwagon here. We love the girl of pieces, but still, it's a little. I know she's early on. That's the only reason we're going to give it a pass. But still, it's a little silly the way she gets caught. Here's a little reckless.
It really is.
I know the only reason we're justifying is because she's still.
I was like, wait, what? It happened so fast.
This is like how she's still bad at kind of getting the wallet still.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is a good point. I do kind of like that about the character, that she's not a master thief yet, which makes sense because she's a kid. So, of course, she's not going to be a master thief at this age.
This is still a little silly and over the top. She's
it really is,
her little hiding place opens up, and she's like all the fur coats and stuff. Do you think she's
shop?
Yeah, girl's got a shop. Do you think she's intentionally trying to get caught?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, she's got to know Gordon's going to have some use for her.
Yeah, I don't know. But if that's the case, why'd she run from Gordon a couple episodes ago?
Well, she ran from Gordon because he cuffed her and he was going to send her to the home afterwards, presumably.
No. I mean, in the episode where Gordon abandons the awesome pickle hamburgers to go pursue her, and Bullet's like, it's lunch.
It's my favorite moment in this. It's Blue Viper, that's why.
Yeah.
That's still the best episode. Well, you got a point. I don't know, maybe she changed her mind, but yeah, let's just assume it's a sloppiness. Anyway, so she gets caught, presumably the rest of the body officer. Meanwhile, we got Alfred and Bruce. They pay a little visit to Tommy. Let them do some awesome stuff here. Again, just showing you how Alfred, he's now, I gotta tell you, in all honesty, this is a potential flaw, potentially, that Alfred's
kind of an enabler.
Yeah, Alfred's kind of an enabler, kind of encouraging the violence.
Yeah, I can see it's a little bit of a morally gray area right there.
But that kind of fits with the Alfred we kind of started off with, too. So it's a different Alfred. That's the reason why.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of why I like it. Yeah, I mean, I've said from the start that this is certainly not not the Michael Caine, like, I made you some supper, Master Bruce Alfred that we're getting here. It's a much more kind of hardened Alfred.
Because I expected this, like, before we got to this scene, I expected, like, him to be where he is at the end of the episode, saying, Alfred, can you teach me how to fight? And then he fights. And that's what I was expecting.
Right, yeah.
But, I don't know, it's still kind of, it's a gutsy move they went with. And, Alfred basically says, well, you're going to use the element of surprise here, and you're going to essentially teach him some crazy instead of karate.
I wish that Alfred actually said that. You're crazy, Master Bruce.
You may not know karate, Master Bruce, but you are going to show him crazy. Essentially, there's a sweet moment here. Alfred gives Bruce his father's watch.
Oh yeah.
He uses it for something really dark. I'm surprised the watch is strong enough to be used for, but gives him his father's watch, and he tells him that was your father's watch, and use it to honor him. Essentially,
I really like the line right before Bruce gets out of the car where Alfred's like, there won't be any shame in backing out of this, Master Bruce. And Bruce says very poignantly there would be immense shame in it, Alfred.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, basically, I love what Bruce says. He says essentially what he's implying is that it's a shame not to honor my parents by doing this, by protecting their honor in the right way. Before what I did, it was wrong. I got beat.
Right, right.
Yeah, now I'm gonna honor them the right way, and this kind of course, is gonna feed in again directly to how he's gonna be later on. Perhaps using his fist to kind of honor his parents.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Again, I just love how this kind of parallels with our Black Mask story in terms of like being unhinged or starting to become unhinged with kind of Bruce kind of slowly kind of getting into the persona.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's see. It's pretty much Elliot answers the door. Bruce, if you're if you're gonna want me to, Bruce, if you're gonna want me to apologize, whatever he says, like, what are you doing? If you think you're gonna tell my parents, then punch right in the face with the watch as a pair of brass knuckles almost. Oh, yeah. He's literally beating him with elements given to him from his parents. So again,
he gives him 3 really good punches before Alfred steps in. Point very well made, Master Bruce.
3 really good punches, and this kind of one is just him using kind of literally the honor and the memory of his parents to beat the crap out of this kid who's been insulting the memory of his parents. That's good right off the bat. Mm-hmm. 2, it's kind of on some level, again, hopefully they go this route, that maybe it's like literally using an element of the fact that his parents are gone to beat the crap out of Ellie, whose parents are still alive.
Right.
Yeah, he desperately wants them not to be. Just showing, my parents are dead. This is like the cruel version in Elliot's mind that, like Bruce is gloating that, my parents are dead, I get all their cool stuff, I'm using to beat the crap out of you. That's what Elliot would be thinking, perhaps. And also, again, this is going to feed into maybe Elliot's immense jealousy of Bruce. Like, he got one up on me. He beat me up properly. Again, this whole thing pretty much Bruce beats the crap out of him. He gives 3 really good punches. Again, gives him a bloody nose, whatever else. Says, nothing broken? Okay, then. And Alfred basically, he tried to kill me. He says, yes. And remember, I let him try.
Oh, I love that. That is one of my favorite Alfred moments. Alfred is just really, really doing it for me, the series.
Yes, and remember, I let him try to almost kill you.
And then he playfully walks off with Bruce, and he's like, well then, Master Bruce, what would you like to have for dinner?
Pizza.
Yeah, I think this has been talked about a lot, so I don't think we really need to get into it. But Bruce wanting pizza is definitely like representative of Bruce kind of wanting to become a little bit of a kid again, which we're going to see a little bit more of in the next episode.
Yeah, so let's get some ice on those knuckles and let's get you whatever you want for dinner. So pizza, you're right, yeah. And again, just shows you, I can just predict that Elliot's going to become more fixated on Bruce because of this.
Mm.
Oh yeah, so hopefully he'll come back. Meanwhile, let's say we're about to have one of the best scenes. Not yet.
Why don't you take us through, because my notes kind of get a little bit spotty after this.
We're not there yet. Point is, Bullock and Enigma have a little bit, pretty much, no sign of Jim. Then we get to we see Black Mask and his gladiator. I kind of nicknamed the Gladiator Gordon battle.
Right.
Essentially, we got Black Mask over the intercom or whatnot. Like, employees are all gathered in one room on some level of the building, presumably watching all this.
Mm-hmm.
Watching all this in a different building, I guess. Like they're at the science kind of is in a whole different location. This whole gladiator ring.
Sure.
Pretty much Black Mask on the intercom. Again, I love this. This is just feeding into my fan servicey Gordon moments of like giving Gordon some awesome stuff to do.
Yeah.
Of pretty much Black Mask says, the victor of this gets a job, because you ordinarily have one of you fight to the death for the position, but today's a special occasion. Whoever kills this man, gets the job. And Gordon's trying to say, okay, listen, none of you have done anything illegal yet, okay? So you can just let this go. I love this Gordon. It's so awesome.
I really like that. Yeah.
Gordon again being the rational guy, saying, "Hey, listen. As far as I'm concerned, you haven't done anything illegal yet." Then Blackness comes ready to come. Oh, and one more thing. Whoever kills him gets a $1 million signing bonus. And then Gordon says, crap. Then the battle begins. Gordon's fighting off 3 guys. 3 guys with a lot to win for. Really brutal battle. And Gordon get into a battle with these guys. Meanwhile, we have probably one of the best Bullock moments in the entire series.
this is the thing that I did not take notes on. So why don't you take us through it? Because for some reason, I just did not. I skipped over it in my notes. I don't know why.
Yeah, so Bullock's on the Bullock noticing Gordon's missing. He's looking for him, and he basically wants to check all the locations to find Gordon before it's too late. And he goes to Alvarez. Hey, Alvarez, can you help me out on something? No, help me find Gordon. Looking for these addresses. Nah, I'm busy. Goes to other cops. They're busy. Bullock picks up on this right away. Saying, that's it. And Bullock walks right in the middle of the station. He shouts to them all, hey, listen! Pretty much, he rallies these neglectful cops, saying, he's still a cop, and this ain't happening twice. You left him essentially saying, you left him. You left him to fend for himself, but he's still a cop. This ain't happening twice. And then she overhears, and this is a really sweet moment. She says, okay, what can I do to help? And if the captain of the police that she's helping out, then they all kind of realize, yeah, but Bullock's right.
Of course.
They're always kind of, Bullock's right. He's still a cop. Whether Gordon annoys you or not with his straight-laced attitude, you gotta help him out. He's a cop. He's your brother.
Mm.
Really sweet. And then pretty much the rest of them get. And also the funny line before this speech, Bullock saying, all right, fine, Alvarez, you don't want to help? I'll remember that next time I tell your wife where you are.
Oh, that's great.
And then pretty much at the end, after Alvarez gets handsome, I say, you still going to cover me for my wife? He says, yeah.
I like how Alvarez is kind of like very subtly kind of just the douchebag of the office.
Yeah, and he seemed kind of like a nice guy before, though. Meanwhile, Gordon is being awesome. Again, this is my Gordon Batman moment here. Gordon takes down these three men, and I love how pretty much all the people in the office are kind of amazed by this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
They're cheering on like the idiots. they're like morons. They're cheering this brutal act of almost attempted murder on. He takes all three of them out because he's awesome, because he's James Gordon. Anyway, then it kind of devolves to a Black Mask reveals himself, and he's a cheater because he's got a samurai sword.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Black Mask versus Gordon. I love the build-up to this. These two have had kind of like a warrior versus warrior thing. Gordon kind of insults him. You're not a warrior. You convince yourself you're play acting. You're a businessman. So I recognize the warrior spirit. And I believe, again, sorry, I'm just paraphrasing Brutus. I'm I believe in having the ferocity of a warrior to get true business done, essentially. And, he's been relishing this. They tuning into a fight. Like Gordon picks up the next nearest object, deflecting the sword a bit, gets a cut in his arm. Apparently, and Black Mask also says, "Well, your brothers and the police aren't here." Says, "I don't need them." Really good moment. Gordon wins. He's in the position to kill him. He has the sword over his head. It looks like he might kill him. Obviously, he doesn't. Basically, he kill him or give in to his kind of frustrated rage, and that the cops weren't there to back him up. Cops aren't there to back him up. How crazy this is. Literally, how crazy it is. I think. By the way, I think it's really going to play into our new episode coming on Lovecraft. By the way.
Okay.
From what I hear, mind you.
Sure.
Gordon literally being thrown into the belly of the city's beast, pretty much. Here I have literally he's being thrown into a little fight club of how corrupt and dangerous the city is. Something to keep in mind. Anyway, so he decides not to do it. He throws the sword down. Anyway, he gets up, and then Essence shows up, and the cops are late, but still, Gordon thanks him. Pretty much then they kind of notice, Jim, look out! Punches Black Mask as he gets the sword, knocks him out cold, and then he says thanks. And then Essence says, this moment cracks me. And this is a polarizing moment, I think, for the episode. And I want to get your thoughts on this. Now,
sure.
Gordon says, thanks, and then Essence says, sure. Pretty much, thanks for doing nothing. Now, what I interpret this as, and what I optimistically interpret this as, is that Gordon, he's reassured that, hey, listen, you guys came through for me. You didn't just forget me. You'll leave me to do this myself. So basically, all the frustration I was feeling, but in that moment, I was considering kind of putting it through Black Mask out of frustration.
Right.
That no, I can actually trust you guys, even though you guys might not be there exactly when I need you. You'll be there for me, hopefully on time next time.
Right.
Essentially, what he's saying is, you guys didn't give up on me this time. That meant something, and pretty much in the moment, they kind of partway saved his life. She said, "Look out!" Punched him. That's about it. The point is, I guess it was the reassuring act of seeing it there. What I like about this moment is that it's like showing that Gordon still is fighting an uphill battle. He is pretty much alone. He's the only honest guy doing stuff, which is why they were late, because they were late to the party because they were being corrupt and lazy, except for Essen.
Sure.
So my point is that it's Gordon realized it's no happy ending to this scene. Is that Gordon did this alone by himself. He shows you the power of this one guy and how an uphill battle this is. And while he's not relenting, while he's not giving up, he's still alone no matter what. He can have these guys behind him, but he's truly alone until he convinces all of them.
Mm.
I like that part of the scene. What do you think about it?
I just agree with what you said. It's just really good development, kind of seeding in the Bullock, Essens, and Gordon kind of triangle of the GP of the Gotham Police Department. So I'm kind of with you.
What do you? Let me ask you this real quick. So what do you? So are you bothered that the cops didn't come in to save him, or do you like it more because they didn't?
I kind of like the whole idea of the fact that Gordon's such a badass that he doesn't need it, and I like the idea that that even though he didn't need their help, he's very reaffirmed by the fact that they showed up to begin with, and that kind of solidifies him. Like I said, kind of solidifies the whole Harvey, Bullock, and Essence trio going on.
Yeah, it's what's kind of cool is realized this is kind of a moment maybe foreshadowing that Gordon is kind of the new Wayne family in terms of kind of ushering in some hope in Gotham.
Yeah, you could say that, sure.
In a way, because he's just showing, his one man did this, maybe inspiring the cops in a way. But he was one guy, he took out the black man, he was literally, he wasn't armed, he faced 3 guys, and one of them had a samurai sword, and he won. With his bare hands, whatever was around him.
Yeah, definitely the dynamic of Gordon versus basically all of the GCPD except for Bullock, Essence, and then Enigma kind of fanboying over him from time to time is definitely kind of one of the more interesting parts of this show, apart from, of course, all the mob stuff, which is obviously the thing that this show does the best.
Oh, yeah.
So, speaking of that, you want to get into the Fish and Liza scene?
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, I just want to note, how awesome would it have been if Eartha Kitt, God rest her soul, would have been alive to play this old nightclub singer?
I would have loved it, but we know far tragically enough that it's never going to happen.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, if Eartha Kitt was still alive, they'd have her in that role in a second, and it'd be awesome.
I completely see that, but it's like how I still want Ricardo Montalban to voice Maine. It's not going to happen.
Right. Okay, so anyways, we have a very stylish older African American woman up on stage singing a song called "Nobody's Fault But Mine," which I think is kind of an interesting parallel to the situation that Liza's got herself into. Because,
oh my God, I did not pick up on that.
Yeah. Because Liza, think about it. She literally killed a girl with her bare hands to be in the situation that now she desperately wants out of.
Yeah, so she says...
I always make a point to look at lyrics and song titles and stuff like that, see if I can pick anything out of it.
Well, if you learn anything from Breaking Bad, that entirely has everything to do with it.
Exactly.
Belina! But, let's see, Liza wants out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because things are getting dangerous, she's caught in the crosshair, and pretty much before she answers, if she got the ledger or not. Anyway, so Mooney tells us the tale. This fascinated me. Apparently, it's going for kind of a Joker Scar story angle, but
yeah, you're right, totally.
Now, we don't know how much Mooney's telling the truth here, but I suspect a lot of it is true, to be honest with you. She mentions that she lived in low rent in the past, like a bad apartment, bad side of town. Her mom was a prostitute, and she was killed by one of Falcone's henchmen, who was an unsatisfied customer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so pretty much she vowed at that moment never to be powerless or to have no men rule over it. I think some of that's true. Now they reveal that,
like we said, it's a lie with a hint of truth. So,
which we've learned from the Penguin is a big strength to have in this business.
Big time, and also also one of the best things you could do in Survivor. Oh yeah.
Well, and Heisenberg too.
Oh yeah. Sure, definitely.
Anyway, so the point is, she reveals that this I like that she reveals. No, yeah, I did get the ledger. There you go. she didn't come empty-handed. I love that. You don't see that often. It's usually everyone comes by empty-handed. But no, they got results.
Right.
She has the ledger, and pretty much Fish is a really cool line that's going to really inform where we're going to come after the break. That this is basically this is the thread Falcone's unraveling right here.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to pull on this thread. And also, there's a bit of a mom connect here, pretty much saying, "Yes, remember, you're my baby girl, and I'm your mom. I'm going to take care of you."
Now say, "I believe you, Mama."
I believe you, Mama. Oh yeah. Anyway, so then.
Whoop.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. So what happens next? So what's our big reveal? Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. We're not there yet. So
we got Timothy, and he's Penguin is great. He's really acted it up. He's like, "Oh, I think you're wholly back on me, Timothy."
Timothy reveals that there's an inside man with Fish is mentioning like there's an inside quote unquote man with Falcone.
Yeah, yeah. And,
like directly with Falcone, which gives Penguin something to work off of, and then he says a really creepy line, says, "Okay, well, no one finds the body."
We are at peace after all.
Oh, that's such a cool line.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You feel so bad for Timothy. Again, it's just he's in the exact same position Penguin was at one point, and he knows
exactly.
Not going to go for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penguin didn't offer him like a chance to like have like a non-threatening guy and execute him or anything. None of that. Like, he didn't have a chance to go to Gotham and be the Penguin's informant. Imagine how that would have went.
Okay, so next we have a Gordon and Bullock scene. You want to take us through that?
Sure. Yeah, a great Gordon Bullock scene. Gordon's been patched up. Basically, he thanks Bullock for having his back.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks Bullock for having his back. And one of my favorite, I think probably my favorite Gordon moment of the episode's in this scene actually. Now Gordon, after he says, you give me like a rousing speech, says, "No, but I called you an ale."
Right.
I did say that, yes.
You know what that reminds me of? That totally reminds me of Star-Lord's, what is it? They got my asshole message! Or no, they got my dick message!
Something along those lines, yes. Anyway, so the point is, Gordon has this really cool line. He says, "Hey, look, if we don't fight for the city, who will?"
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and
here's
the image of them shaking hands.
And here's my favorite line. Here's my favorite Gordon moment in the episode right here. I can easily say it. So we saw in the earlier scene, he arrested the guy, and Bullock proposed to him, "Hey, listen, let him go so we can survive here. Come on." And Gordon didn't do it. And I love this. Gordon says, "This is a Gordon moment to a T. Probably the best Gordon moment they had in the entire series, perhaps."
Oh, okay.
He says, "Bullock, he sincerely says to Bullock, I'm sorry, Harvey, but I won't stop."
Right. Yeah, I totally see that for sure.
And I think this is the moment that's really going to start our Bullock transition, to be honest with you. Like, he's going to really start to come around soon because of this.
Oh.
Like, basically, Gordon's saying, no corruption, I won't abide by that at all, as you saw in the earlier scene. Pretty much, I won't bend on this. I won't stop.
Oh, yeah.
You know that. And he says also, you know that. Anyway, so then we're in the big reveal of Fish.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not official.
Like I said, I only caught it on the rewatch, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Which I'm surprised by, because they kind of, it's kind of obvious looking at it.
Well, to be fair, they didn't confirm it, but I'll give you that. But the point is, this one knows about Fish regardless.
Mm. So basically, the old woman is, she's, heading out, right? And Fish is like, "I saw you listening in, old woman. You're getting too close for comfort," or something like that.
Yeah.
And
lies were you telling that girl?
I heard you tell that old story again. Now, I think you're absolutely right. I think what we can get out of especially with Fish says the great line of it was a lie with a hint of truth, which I love as a Survivor fan, but I think what we can get out of this is that at least what I got out of it is that I'm pretty sure her mother was a prostitute. I'm pretty sure that the story of Fish hiding behind the curtains when she did her business was true. The only thing that's not true is her getting murdered by Falcone's associate.
Yeah, I think at the very least, the only thing I think we can verify as truth is I think her motivations at the end of that were true. That she vowed that she'd never be powerless and she wants no men to rule over. Because that's consistent with what she's going for right now. She wants to be in control. She wants to get rid of the fat old men, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, a lot of fat mob bosses.
And in the case of Baroni, definitely.
Yeah, seriously, guys, come on. Get on a treadmill or something. You need to be in good shape. You're gonna run a mob empire. Come on.
Yeah, especially if you want to marry Maria LaGuerta. But Maria. Okay. Anything else to say about that?
No.
I will never stop making that joke as long as we're on this show. Okay, so now.
Anyway, my rant. So.
Yes, go for it. Have at it, my friend.
Okay, so Gordon does the smart, not smart. Gordon, he doesn't do the smart thing. Smart thing would be leaving her at the beginning. Gordon
the smart thing would be not getting into a relationship with this girl to begin with.
Yes. Have you learned nothing from Batman Forever? Chase Meridian is not the ideal life partner. You'll have some good times in bed, most assuredly, as we've seen in the show with her and Barbara. But still, is it worth it? I mean, come on. Harvey and the Duchess have better chemistry than you two.
Oh, they really do. Oh, God. That's a beautiful point.
Anyway, so the point is, Gordon's doing the responsible thing here, and he calls Barbara after you do, like he said, he calls her later and pretty much saying, hey, listen, Barbara, I'm sorry. Basically, he genuinely apologizes. He says, listen, I'm sorry things have to be this way. He has a really heartwarming speech. I forget exactly what it was because I was so pissed off about what was happening on screen. Essentially, Barbara, what she's doing intertwined with this wonderful speech Gordon's giving, it brings a tear to your eye. No, I'm kidding. We see Barbara's leaving, and she's leaving a Dear John, or I should say a Dear Jim letter.
This feels oddly familiar.
Yes, Tiki, it does. She leaves as a tease, and let's just say, just so no one get their hopes up like we did, she's coming back.
Well, that's what bothers me. I mean, we'll get into it, but she doesn't even fucking leave Gotham.
Let me finish my rant. Let me finish.
Okay.
So, what does she do? She's leaving. She leaves a Dear Jim letter. Okay, that's nice. She's leaving. That's good. But why is she leaving? I'm sure you're asking. Why is she leaving now instead of the times Gordon has told her to when it was a smart thing to do? She's leaving because earlier in that scene, Gordon hung up on her mid-sentence, and apparently that was some sort of indicator to her that, oh no, things aren't going to work out. We can't have a normal relationship. No, things will never be the same. I'm too cowardly, and I'm afraid of Victor's ass, who I think's a monster. And what's worse, I remind you, what's worse? She's acting like a child.
Oh,
She's acting like that stupid teenage daughter. I'm sorry, I'll get through it. Just give me a second.
You can do it, man. You can do it.
He literally says, I'm sorry, Barbara, I'll call her. He's being very rational. He hangs up the phone and says, okay, I'll call her. I'm a little busy right now. So he hangs up on her mid-sentence. And what's her rational response? She says, I'm going to leave him because of it. She leaves him over a phone call. Just over hanging up mid-sentence. Now, I'm sorry, Barbara. Here's my rant. I remember it now. So, Barbara, let me get this straight. He does one thing, just one thing, aside from being a little distant, which is understandable given the job, given he's been a soldier and he's been a cop. And you should be used to this by now. Besides that, he makes one genuine faux pas, if you will. One genuine faux pas. He hangs up mid-sentence. Not a polite thing to do, okay. But I'm sorry, Barbara. Let's see your track record. What have you done politely, huh? Let's see. You've had a relationship that you didn't disclose to him. A personal relationship that could have compromised his job, by the way. You walk up to a mob boss after he directly tells you not to do that because that'd be stupid and dangerous. And let's see what else. You almost freaking shoot him without doing so much as saying, Jim, is that you? Like any stupid mall. You don't. You just Don't! You act like a stupid teenager, and you leave him. You run away like a little girl, saying, Jim, I left you a letter. Read it next episode while you jump up and down happily that I'm gone out of your life. Sincerely, Barbara Essen. Sorry, sincerely, Barbara Keene. Sorry, wishful thinking.
That'd be a twist.
Sincerely, Barbara Keene. Thankfully, not Barbara Gordon as of yet.
Oh God.
Oh God, I hate that woman. She's the only thing dragging me. She and Montoya, the only things dragging me down on the show.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everyone feels that way, and I can see people completely leaving this show because of it, and I think it's a shame.
Gordon does barely a thing wrong, and she leaves him over that. And he's being completely rational, completely reasonable. You want to give Gordon a hug. You don't want to leave him.
You know what I'm really worried about, though? I'm sure you heard the news that they extended the season 1 from 16 episodes to 22.
That's old news, Tiki. Give me some news.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not sure exactly how old that news was, but
it was weeks ago.
Oh, okay, but I'm just worried because it's like I always prefer a shorter season to a longer season. Always! Because a shorter season is just less filler. So I'm worried with 22 episodes that we're going to be seeing a lot more of this kind of shit.
Well, look, it's just 4 more episodes than Breaking Bad.
No, 4 more episodes no, it's not 4 more episodes than Breaking Bad.
Well, I mean, debatable. Sometimes it's 13. Sometimes it's 13, sometimes it's 16.
Breaking Bad had, I think its longest season was 16 episodes, and that was stretched out over 2 8-episode seasons.
All right, fine. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of how season 5 was stupidly divided into 2 seasons.
I kind of liked how season 5.
No, I mean, what I'm saying, just call it 6. Don't call it 5.
No, I think that's a whole different argument.
Yeah,
I thought it came together quite well as a full season. That's a whole different argument.
Anyway, then
I'm actually surprised out of all the time that we've been doing shows together, we've never once done a proper Breaking Bad show outside of like the Breaking Bad Christmas show.
Well, I know why, but let's not get into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's finish up real quick. So anyway, so Gordon's about to leave after he makes his little apology that Barbara's not going to get because she's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He finds out from another cop that there's someone here he wants you to process. You should probably get a look at before we process or anything. Says, I'm heading out. Says, no, she says she knows you. She? So, yeah, breaking entering charge or whatever. Princess. Then Jim and Selena, they reunite. Yay! I'm not saying in the same way of a love story, but there's a love story there.
Hey, detective, miss me?
Yeah, I mean, come on, I care more about that relationship than I do with him and the other failed teenager. I care about him better than the other failed teenager.
I care more about the relationship between Gilzeem and Fish than I do about Barbara.
I also feel that way. Heck, I care about more the Thomas Elliot and Bruce Wayne Bond. And I say Bond loosely because they hate each other.
I care more about Gordon and Alvarez potentially having a future bromance.
I care more about Gordon and Enigma.
Okay, now we're just making a game out of this.
All right. Alfred and Gordon. Let's see that show.
Oh God.
Anyway.
The only issue I have with this is that it's literally the second cliffhanger that we've had of like, oh, Selena wants to talk to Jim for some reason. Oh boy, what could it be?
Then our ending is like Bruce asking Alfred to teach him to fight, and
awesome. Short and sweet.
Well, there's a really good line too here. A really good line Bruce had before he asked him to teach him how to fight, I guess, or after. I'm not sure. He says, "I'm angry all the time, Alfred. Does it hurt ever go away?"
Well, that I don't know, Master Bruce.
Alfred, can you teach me how to fight?
I love that, and that's like the end of the episode. Like that line ends out the whole episode.
I kind of wish that was early because they really hyped that up in the promo. Like, it made me think that was going to be the whole emphasis of the episode because we saw Bruce, delivering a punch.
It was in the promo. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, the promo was like basically, Alfred, can you teach me how to fight? Then we see Bruce deliver a punch, which was Elliot,
All right, so that was The Mask. All right, so we've been kind of running like 2 hours on this thing, so really quickly, what do you think?
I really liked it. Again, in all honesty, it's probably more so fan service, how cool Gordon was, how straight on they got him. But Black Mask was cool too. We got some good parallels between, stuff Bruce is going to be confronted with in the future. Barbara sucked. Not as bad as she does next episode, which she only appears for 2 minutes, and she makes me want to stab the episode.
Just physically, just rip out the
I want to stab the
copies of the episode and stab them.
I almost want to stab the spine of the episode.
Oh my god. Well, that'll be a fun thing to get to.
But we'll get to that rant later on. The point is, I really liked this episode. It's one of my favorites. Not as much as Viper, because how can you beat Jim? It's lunch.
And how can you beat absolutely no Barbara at all?
Exactly. So, this is definitely good. It's one of my favorites. I love Jim Gordon in this episode. That's pretty much it.
All right. I'm not quite as high on this episode as you are, probably because you're probably more invested in all the Black Mask stuff and all the Tommy stuff more than I am. But yeah, it was good. It was certainly good. To tell you the truth, I think the Office killing stuff is a little I don't know. It didn't quite sit well with me in terms of being realistic. It was a little over the top. Again, kind of like a 60s Batman scenario played straight a little bit, but overall I'd say I don't like it as much as Viper. I don't like it as much as Balloon Man. I don't like it as much as Spirit of the Doe. So it's probably, I'd say overall in my ranking, it's probably right in the middle for me, right in the middle of the pack when it comes to episodes. But overall, still a pretty strong one, pretty good. So yeah.
Good. One last thing, just again, a good parallel about kind of the frustration Gordon's feeling, how he's. I like I feel like I'm underselling it, kind of the thing that got going between Gordon and Black Mask, and how the mask is like a freeing thing of all the anger and the frustration, how it embodies the city in a way. Like Gordon's going up literally against the city. That's the last thing I'll say. The point is really good. In my opinion, that was a real big strong thing of the episode. Gordon versus Black Mask for me. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, so is that it?
Yeah, that's it. So take us out. Should I?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so remember, kids, no matter how dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
Until next time, when we go exploring Gotham yet again. And guess what? I might actually get that intro down next time. So tune in for that next time on Exploring Gotham. Ooh.